Ding, 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 ding. Somebody got it right. Finally, somebody recognized Professor Layton. Props to that guy. And only that one. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I know not a lot of people know Professor Layton. I grew up on the games though. I had like all the games really, except ironically the crossover, which I feel like is the game that most people know Professor Layton for. They mostly know it for the crossover with Phoenix Wright. I just managed to find it one day. Well, I didn't find it, my sister did. Well, you know what, hold on. Before we get started on that. Yeah, there we go, music. You're 2 minutes too early to make sounds. Oh, you're right, hold on. Okay, now it's time. It's been 2 minutes. Hi again. It's me again. Konnichi, what's up, or whatever the Vocaloids say. Her name is Cala Maria. Yes, I kind of forgot what she looked like. I'm not gonna lie. I got halfway into drawing her, and then I was like, what does she look like? What does she look like? And then I realized then I had to commit. I love this music. If you think it's mid, I'm banning you for life. I, for one, am a big fan of music. I feel like we're even listening to it right now. Cookie Run Kingdom Core? What? Oh gosh. Greetings, deities and gentledoms. That is... Maxor said that? I heard that name before, Maxor. I never actually seen any of his stuff before, but I've heard his name around the streets. Is he like... Well, okay. I'm not gonna say what video specifically, mostly because I can't remember what video it was, but someone was like, Maxor, Pirate Software, Alpharad, RT Games. They're like the new generation, per se, of like gaming YouTubers. I don't know how true that is, but I haven't seen anything from Maxor. I'm sure there's an audience for him. But maybe I should. Maybe I should. However, hello, and as I was saying, perhaps 2 minutes early was, I don't know if I told this story before, but Professor Layton was a game series that was actually really near and dear to not just my heart, my family's heart. And I feel like, how do I explain this story? So my mom wanted smart kids. She wanted smart kids, so she wanted us to do everything smart as often as possible, smart and fit. So she was always like, you're going to be doing puzzles, you're going to be doing Sudoku, chess, like any smart person stuff. So when the era of video games came out and we had finally gotten our grubby little mitts on some Nintendo DS's, my mom was like, all right, here's the deal. You can have any game you want, but of those games that you're allowed to have, my sister and I were allowed 2 games each, 2 or 3 games, I can't remember, One of them has to be educational, and it has to be approved by me. So nothing gets under my thumb. You can't pull a fast one on me and be like, oh no, World of Warcraft is actually very educational. No. It had to be approved by mother, and it had to be educational. My sister was the one who found Professor Layton. And we were like, hey, it looks like a puzzle game, right? A puzzle game with a story. And that should fly by with our mom. And our mom was like, yep. So we ended up getting Professor Layton in Curious Village. And my sister played it for a little bit, and she had a lot of fun, and then eventually dropped it. And eventually I picked it up, and I got addicted. And I wasn't really good at solving out the puzzles, so I would go to my sister and be like, how do you solve this puzzle? And she wouldn't know, and we would go to our mom and be like, how do you solve this puzzle? And eventually, the whole household was playing Professor Layton at that point. Oh gosh. I do genuinely feel like Professor Layton and the Doctor Who series, but that's unrelated. But specifically, Professor Layton was one of those games that kind of like, at least for a brief moment, brought my family together. And especially because I feel like all three of us are so different from each other in so many ways. It is by level 5. But for that brief moment, we all saw eye to eye. We all got along on something, and we all enjoyed each other's company as we all tried to like play this game together. We all tried to solve puzzles together, and we just would have fun with it. And I don't know, I feel like of any game series, Professor Layton I hold near and dear to my heart for that reason. Because I feel like, at least in that moment, Professor Layton was the game that brought my family together. And alright. She did not do a good job, huh? Nah. One of us came out great. At least there's that. She has a 50% success rate. Hello! Also, welcome to the stream. I started off with a story and didn't even get straight into like formalities. Hello! Hello, I hope the audio is okay. I have like the AC on at full blast, and at some point I'm going to have to leave momentarily because I have the laundry running. So like 40-ish minutes from now, I'm going to need to take care of some laundry related stuff. But otherwise, I'm not really sure what we're going to do for stream today. It might be another just chatting stream. It might be another Nettie gets stuff done stream. But who knows? Who knows? Doing smart things does not make you smart. It gives you pattern recognition. Yeah, I could have, and I just might have a very passionate and maybe mildly hot take when it comes to trying to make your kids smart, quote unquote. That, gosh, I don't know. There's one part of me that's like, I want to talk about this because I have a bone to pick with it, and I could get really upset about it very quickly. But not like in like a I'm actually emotionally attached, but more so like a no, this is actually something that I think needs to be talked about because I was on the receiving end of it, and I feel like it's something that people don't really talk about a lot. But at the same time, it's like stream just started. It's been like less than 15 minutes. Let's save the passionate and mildly aggressive rants for at least an hour into stream, or like 30-ish minutes, give or take. Was a gifted kid when you were 13, now you're burnt out and you're depressed. It's the equivalent of I could have gone pro, but things could have been so very different. This is a song, not how you feel. What song is that? Because that's pretty much it. I know I don't share a lot about like my IRL life, but I was in the gifted kid program, and I had to like go to the head office and be like, I want out of the gifted program. And they were like, are you okay, like mentally? Because at least where I grew up, being the gifted kid meant that you were the good kids, quote unquote. And any kid who wasn't in the gifted program were the problem kids. Why would you willingly banish yourself to the problem kid category? No one really understood. Give me a second, I need to clear my throat. Okay. Sorry, I was filling up with... Ugh. I'm still coughing, rarely. It's mostly the sniffles. Now. I feel like for the most part, I'm completely healthy. I'm totally healthy. However, I do have a sniffle that just doesn't want to give up. And every now and again, my sinuses fill up. Give me 1 second. All right. Yokai Watch is your Professor Layton. I feel like they really wanted Yokai Watch to work. They wanted Yokai Watch to be the Pokemon killer, but unfortunately, I don't think that actually really happened. Ooh, and also, speaking of level 5 games, do any of you guys know the Fantasy Life game, the one on the 3DS? Because unironically, that is an amazing game that will probably die with that console, and it makes me so upset. And I just now found out that there's going to be a sequel on the Switch, but I wish I could stream things from my 3DS because I really want to play that game for you guys. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, gosh. Very sad level 5 and Nintendo killed Yokai Watch when they made 4. The 3 was already falling off. Yeah, I feel like the goals they had for Yokai Watch compared to what actually came of, like, what was the end result of, like, Yokai Watch was not what they were hoping for, so they had to axe it. I'm surprised. I know a lot of people were talking about it in the more recent days, but I'm legitimately surprised that a good amount of people have, like, not a good amount of people, how do I explain this? Like, I'm surprised that a good amount of, like, what am I trying to say here? My brain's all fried. Let me restart the sentence. I'm surprised that Nintendo has not bought out Level 5 and acquiesced their assets and all that, and their brands and stuff. Oh gosh. You won't be able to be here to stream. Enjoy the yapping, everyone. Thank you for coming to stream regardless. No problem. No problem. It might not just be yapping. I don't think I'm going to be playing any games. At least, not yet. If I am to play games, it'll probably be very, like, harmless games, I would say. Nothing too, like, commit to life. Oh gosh. Yokai Watch 2 was probably one of the greatest games you ever played. Really? Yokai Watch 2, the only thing holding 2 back was that they took the Pokemon formula. Hello, Boppy! Hi, Boppy Blue! Tied with Hollow Knight and you mean it. Ooh. The greatest games I ever played. I feel like, okay, I know you guys were asking for a tier list for a little while now. It's a hard question for me, I'll be totally honest. I feel like when I really sit down and think about it, I'm like, ooh, my all-time favorite games. They're not in any specific order, but I definitely think about the games that gave me a message that I could deeply think about and consider heavily. You guys love bashing me about it, but it's why I love the Xenoblade series so much. And it's one of those things that, like, someday, you know what? If the Rain World video, first off, gets done and also goes over well, I'll probably do one for Xenoblade so I can also explain to you guys without having to make you guys sit through 300 hours of gameplay why I love Xenoblade so much and why it resonates so deeply with me, especially Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I still have yet to play Xenoblade Chronicles 3 actually. It might be my Ultra Kill addiction, but this song sounds Ultra Kill to me. You will have to take that up with BwueBerryYoghurt. So, okay, speaking of the brew from the home, I can't really talk about it or say it, or at least say it in the correct format, because Nintendo doesn't like it when you acknowledge that you are playing their games in a way that cannot be played. So, for the record, I own Kirby Superstar Ultra, I own those Kirby games, I own a DS, I own a 3DS, I own a Wii U, and I do indeed, sorry about the coughing, and I do indeed own those games, okay? We'll leave it at that, no further questions, okay? For my safety, Nintendo really likes taking down small channels, specifically small channels, so that's also kind of why I haven't been playing Kirby games in the recent days, because Nintendo's back on their cycle again, where they go and, like, axe a bunch of, like, smaller channels for, like, music and gameplay and stuff like that. So I'm trying to be like, no, don't look here, look away, look away. Nettie, did you see Astro Smith's Tall Bird Don't Starve video? I did, but I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it yet. I was actually just watching his Finding Frankie video. I'm a little behind right now. Can you use a screen recorder? Probably can. But I think the hardware itself would have to be tampered with, if that makes sense. I would actually need to make the 3DS itself compatible for streaming, not so much the other way around. Fun little question, Nettie. If you had to choose between the 3 Kirby games you played on the channel, Kirby Superstar Ultra, Kirby Squid Squad, and The Amazing Mirror, Which one was your favorite? Ooh, okay. That's a tough one. 1 second. Why now that I'm streaming, I was doing fine up until I started streaming, and all the coughing and stuff started like kicking in. However, to answer your question, it feels kind of harsh to say this, but Kirby and the Amazing Mirror doesn't make the cut. I know that sounds really harsh, but of the games that I have played on the channel specifically, it's tough because both of those games have sentimental value to me. In a similar vein that Professor Layton brought my family, specifically my family together, like me, my mother, and my sister, Kirby Superstar Ultra was the unifier between me and my sister. So, Kirby Superstar Ultra was my sister's game. She was the one that owned the game. And me, being the grubby little sister that I am, kept taking her games. I kept taking her games and playing on the separate save slot. And I loved Kirby Superstar Ultra. And I used to play it all the time when I was a little kid. And it holds so much sentimental value to me because it not only does it make me think of my childhood, does it make me think of like those moments in my life and that time period, but I very much like, you know, I was a little kid and I wasn't good at games. So it was very much the game that I would always go to my older sister and be like, could you do the big sister thing and beat the boss for me? Please? And especially, how to explain this? Especially when it came to Galactonite. In the True Arena, I, for the life of me, could not beat Galactonite. And especially in Meta Nightmare as well. Sorry. And both in the True Arena and in Meta Nightmare Ultra, I could not beat Galactonite. So I would always ask my sister to beat it for me, and she would beat it first try every time. And to me, as a little sibling, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I thought she was the coolest thing ever. And honestly, something I never got to tell her, and I don't know if I ever will tell her because it's kind of embarrassing now that it's been like a couple of years now. Not even a couple of years, like a couple decades now. But because in the Kirby lore, Galactonite is the strongest warrior in the galaxy. I never beat Galactonite as a kid. My sister did. So in my eyes, my sister was the strongest warrior in the galaxy, not me. And I never told her that. That, like, to me, she was the strongest warrior in the galaxy in my eyes. And I thought she was super cool for that. Yeah, capture cards don't come cheap. They do not come cheap at all. There's like one very specific guy in Japan who will completely deck out your 3DS, fit for recording and everything that you would need. But he has a wait list a mile long, and also I don't have that much yen. Or any way to convert my money to yen. And, wow, gosh. And trying to do it myself will also be quite the challenge. I might genuinely just buy a burner 3DS, like a really broken 3DS, just to test and see if I can do it myself without wrecking my personal 3DS. And then if that works, then we'll finally get to play some 3DS games on the channel, and I've been wanting to do that for a while. Play Minecraft hardcore with every horror mod that was released. I think someone already beat me to that. You'll have to wait. One of the greatest games for me is Ultra Kill, another one is Amori. However, I talked a lot about Kirby Superstar Ultra. Now, Kirby Squeak Squad is important to me as well. To continue that story from before, Kirby Squeak Squad, however, is very important to me as well. Kirby Squeak Squad was the first game I personally owned. I think I mentioned it in my playthrough, but for those of you who didn't watch it and don't care, the TLDR. So, I didn't come from a financially secure home. Let's put it like that. So I didn't actually have said DS until much later. However, we were friends with this other family who had like a whole bunch of kids, and she was like a babysitter. The main person that my mom was a friend was a babysitter. So we ended up staying at her house, and she was babysitting all these kids, and this became this giant like kids babysitting house. one of the big kids, they were like, you know how every like kids group has like the big kids of the group? There were these triplets. And one of them, like all three of them were unique in their own right. And I feel like all three of them were subjected to like having a division of the kids going to each one. One was very like, you know, I want to say of the times, very modern, talking about fashion and trends. My sister really liked her. I was really attracted to this really quiet, reclusive guy. He kept disappearing. So one day I followed him and I found him playing video games. And this was like my first time seeing video games, period. And I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, well, this is Call of Duty. Do you want to play? And I'm like, of course I want to try. So he does what every big kid would do and hands me an unplugged controller and says, go crazy, you're playing right now. And I'm just like, oh, this is amazing. I love video games. And he was like, you know what? You really like these games a lot. Tell you what, I'm not using my Game Boy anymore. Do you want me to lend you my Game Boy, and the next time you and I meet up, you just give it back? I already beat most of the games, so it's probably not going to be as fun as it could be, but I'm literally not going to touch this Game Boy anymore. So eventually, through that guy, I ended up getting to play a whole bunch of games. I got to play Game Boy games, GameCube, a couple of Xbox games, all through that guy. And without him, I don't think I would have been nearly into video games as much as I am now as a person. And I wouldn't own my own game until I got my first DS and the first cartridge I ever received, which was Kirby Squeak Squad. And so Kirby Squeak Squad has a lot of sentimental value to me because it was the first game I ever owned, and it was also the first game I ever beat on my own. It was the first time I ever got that opportunity. So it's kind of tough for me because like one is like Kirby Squeak Squad was the catalyst that led me to loving games in the first place, and Kirby Superstar Ultra was the bond that I had with my sister. And it's honestly kind of a hard choice for me. So it's a really hard tie. And this is not to say that Kirby and the Amazing Mirror is not a good game. I love Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, but Kirby and Amazing Mirror was very much a game I picked up because I liked Kirby. If that makes sense. Like, by the time I had picked up Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, I was playing them out of order, but by the time I had picked up that game, I was already hooked on Kirby. So I didn't really have any sentimental attachment to the Amazing Mirror as I do with Squeak Squad and Squeak Squad and Ultra. So that's a tricky one, but ask more questions. All of you, ask more questions. It's Q&A time. I have decided. So 2 is your favorite. You'll make some assumptions. All right. I don't know what assumptions you're gonna make, but it better not be those assumptions, okay? I'm not into that kind of stuff. You did 30 seconds of research. Either pay up $200 for a capture card, or like, yeah, make it yourself. I'll tell you guys right now, I do not have $200 in my bank account. I don't have that much money. I don't have that much money. Terraria, Rainworld, and Undertale. Terraria over Rainworld. Really? Like, I feel like I joined the party late on Rainworld, and Rainworld's really high for me. Rainworld really affected me. And it's not over Xenoblade, so sorry guys. Like, the Xenoblade trilogy, 1, 2, and 3 are like definitely number 1 for me. That was like the game that very much like after I finished playing those games, I had like a shift in perspective on life, and I was like, oh, things make so much more sense now. I think I know what I want to do in life, at least a little bit. Or at least I felt seen, and Rainworld definitely made me feel that way as well. Also, I saw what you said earlier. So, funny tidbit for those of you who have a keen eye. The model may seem slightly different for 2 reasons. 1, I touched up the model personally, and also, funny story, the original model that you guys used to see me in, the one that had like outlines and stuff, I kind of don't have that file anymore. So, this is a really weird Frankenstein of what actually, like, very few, I'll be totally honest with you guys, I think, as I look at the model, there are only 2 new textures incomplete, but 2 new textures from the new model that are on this model. And the only one you guys have caught so far is the glove. There's another one. It's not that big a deal. I'll tell you guys right now. It's not that like, oh my gosh, this is different and this is different. It's purely because like, oh shoot, I accidentally deleted that file and I kind of needed that texture and it's gone. So I only really have the new one to use and maybe nobody will notice. Somebody noticed, crap. The gig's up. Oh gosh. You gonna try and set up a screen recorder? Tell me how it goes. I'll try it. Like I said, I might invest in a burner 3DS just to see if I can make it work. And if I can, then in theory, if I can do it on my actual DS, then whoa, Kid Icarus Uprising. No one plays that game and it's so freaking good, and that's just stuck on the 3DS. And Nintendo's never going to make a sequel to Kid Icarus Uprising or to Tomodachi Life, and I hate it so much. Have you played Kirby Planet Robobot? I have. I have played every Kirby game up till I have not played Star Allies or the newest one, Forgotten Lands. I haven't played those two. But I'm fairly up to date when it comes to Kirby games. I have a Switch. I could play more Switch games. I did it like once a long time ago, and then I just never did it again. I don't know why. Rip Galactonite. I thought Galactonite was so cool when I was a kid. Oh gosh. It's a... You love how streams are Nettie saying a few things for 15 minutes, people replying to it, and then Nettie replying to those for 15 minutes and replies for the rest of the stream. You guys, it's complicated. First off, I get it, it's a joke, but it is kind of funny. I acknowledge it too. I feel like it's an acquired skill, I suppose. I know I mentioned it before, but like reading chat at a healthy pace. But I feel like a lot of times you guys say things that are like, hey, I've got a story for that. And then I just want to share my stories with you guys. I don't really have any like finer details, and I don't really know how to tell faster stories. I'm not really good at storytelling, if I'm being honest with you guys. But oh gosh, what am I trying to get at here? Yeah, I too feel bad sometimes. I'm like, man, I'm so behind in chat. I can see the scrolling thing get smaller and smaller, but I wanna answer each like comment. You guys have so much to say and I wanna read it all. He's technically canon by now. You don't need to have a boss fight to play a major part in the Kirby lore. A lot of Kirby lore, at least for a long time, a lot of the Kirby lore was like under the rug, kind of a maybe, maybe not. Who knows? This might be a hypothetical situation. This might just be a dream. This might not even happen at all. This might have been an alternate timeline or dimension. And then like Kirby Star Allies came out and they're like, oh yeah, that's canon. Which honestly is the funniest thing they could have done. Like, spend 2 decades doing the will they, won't they, only to be like, yeah. Maybe I'm the only person that finds that funny, but it's funny. The best Kirby game in your opinion is either Triple Deluxe or Nightmare in Dreamland. Ooh. Okay, so the best Kirby game. That's also really tough for me. I still feel like, again, rather biased, but Ultra probably, in my opinion, is the best Kirby game. It has the most replayability, it has the best soundtrack, it has so many different modes you can do, so many challenges you can do, and I'm biased, and it means a lot to me, because it reminds me of my bond with my sister. You know a bit about Kirby lore. Kirby lore is absolutely wild. I love it. She is the strongest warrior in the galaxy. Yeah, I don't know if you guys will ever meet my sister, so you guys are taking this down to the grave with me. I don't know if I can muster the courage to tell my sister that now that we're like adults, but when I was a little kid, I always thought that, and I was like, yeah, you're the strongest warrior in the galaxy. You're the coolest sister ever. And yeah, that's cringe. You had a similar experience with your older sister. We used to play Kirby's Dream Land 3 all the time, and I would always play as Gooey and just follow my sister around. Oh man, that reminds me. When we got a Super Smash Bros. Brawl, my sister was Samus and I was Pikachu. and I was not helpful at all. My sister was primarily a Link and Pit main in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and I was a Pikachu and Kirby main. And frickin' the little stupid, you know that one spammy attack that Pit used to do, what was it, like the Ugh, so annoying. Chat, try to guess my favorite Kirby character. You won't get it. You like Kreko. That's my guess. Should I stream a horror game in the Discord? The choice is yours. The choice is always yours. I won't stop you. As long as it's not breaking, like, as long as it's not like adult content, you can play whatever. I don't really mind too much. See you later. Okay. By the time you're reading my message in 2 hours, I might be back already. It'd be so funny if Boo actually is. I'm still playing catch up right now. I mean, if it's more of a meme, if you're drawing it more as a meme, I feel like it probably should go more in the meme channel, not so much the artwork channel. As it is, something I've been meaning to do for a while is go through the artwork channel, especially for the fan art, and then like I want to collect every fan art, tag every person accordingly, like, or label each fan art accordingly, and then have a fan art showcase one day on the stream. I think that would be really fun. I would love to do a fan art showcase. I know that for the artists here that kind of want like a platform to like better be seen, I'm not exactly the person fit for that. But, you know, one artist supporting another artist, I suppose. First video game you ever played was Super Mario Bros. On the NES. Who rides so late to deny and win? Oh gosh. Wait, what happened? Did you ever beat the Ender Dragon in Minecraft survival mode? You know, you guys are gonna find this funny. I only did it recently. I have never actually beat the Ender Dragon in Minecraft until in the last 2 years. I did it with Autumn and a couple other friends in our personal like Minecraft world. We when we were like first establishing that world, I helped them when we were all playing survival, and that was actually the first time I beat the Ender Dragon in survival mode. Every other time I just couldn't be fussed. I didn't even think the fight was hard. That's the thing, the fight wasn't difficult. I just couldn't be bothered to fight the dragon, and I was like, oh, a dragon. Creative mode. Oh gosh. Pancake, Emily, or Paul? Ooh, Pancake, Emily, or Paul? Probably Emily without a shadow of a doubt. I haven't called her Emily in forever. The slightly changing the model every stream to drive people insane thing is real. You know, I genuinely considered doing that. You guys should be lucky I didn't decide to just gaslight you guys. I thought about it. I was like, what if every stream something slightly changes on the model? The colors start shifting. A couple hues each stream. Suddenly, my glove is different. Suddenly, my horns are a different color. Suddenly, my hair is getting lighter. Suddenly, my eyes have changed and like all this kind of stuff. I heavily debated doing that. But not only would that be even more time consuming than just remaking the model as it is right now, but it'd also be very hard to keep track of what I'm doing. For frame of reference, by the way, there are 27 different iterations of this model over my creation process of making the model that I have exported. This does not include like progress pictures and the entire design process. And you have star allies. Oh, that's great. If you know any advice about like how to make cloaks in Blender, or like clothes in Blender rather, feel free to leave a link in the Discord. I don't really have a media channel, come to think of it. I probably should make like just a general media channel, not like a meme channel, but something like that would be pretty great. Make sure you're using the same type of 3DS, as there's OG 3DS and new 3DS. That's true. People are here for the yab, and that's what you're delivering. Pretty much. Hello! Welcome to the stream. I'm still catching up. Not the Meta Knight, like the Link one. Not the Link one. The Pit one, where he does like the little like swirly circle thing that can go on forever, and he can spam it on the edge. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? My sister used to always beat me as Meta Knight in Brawl. You always thought that she was really good at the game when you grew up and learned that Meta Knight is just broken. At least my sister never caught on that Meta Knight was broken. Hello! Welcome to the Yap stream. You're late! 3 points! Like, -3 points. You always fought Dragon in creative as a child. Yeah, I wasn't even like intimidated or anything. Like I wasn't like, oh, I can't beat the dragon, I have to use creative. I was just like, I just can't be fussed. I can't be bothered to fight the dragon. That's so much work. Especially when I can go in creative whenever I feel like it. Iterations, you say. Man, I love iterating. Love things that iterate. I've also thought about that. In terms of like long form videos of just me talking about stuff, I wanted to kind of share the creation journey of making Nettie, like making Nettie come to life. So it's but how do I explain this? I was super conflicted on it because I was like, hey, most of you guys only really know me for my gameplay. Most of you guys only like obviously no hard feelings. I get it. A lot of you guys are only here for certain games or just the gameplay or specific things that I do. No hard feelings. No hard feelings at all. So, but it did make me like kind of conflicted because I was like, I would love to make that video as both like kind of as like a documentary and also as like an educational thing for like, hey, for those of you who have zero experience in making a 3D VTuber model, have no idea how making any character in general, the character design process, making a VTuber process, and all the other like aspects that come with making a model, how that process was for somebody that has absolutely zero experience and went from just going from like one day talking to like my partner and being like, hey, what if I became a VTuber? And then being here as a VTuber. So I kind of thought like, hey, wouldn't that be cool to do? Wouldn't that like, I don't know, maybe it would help somebody to kind of see that like, hey, you can have basically zero experience in this and still make something. And here's how I did it. And I just don't really know if, I guess, yeah, for lack of better phrasing, I don't really know if anybody would be like interested in that because it'll be very much not gameplay related. So I was a little apprehensive to do that. And even if I did do that, it wouldn't happen until much later. Oh gosh. I'm the better dragon anyways. Exactly. See, I have a physical form outside of being a dragon. I'm more like Alex Straza in that sense from World of Warcraft, minus the bikini armor. Thank you for coming by stream. Here's a question. If you could make your own Disney princess movie, what would it be about? Okay, well, I do have an idea. And it's an idea that I kind of want to make a comic out of at some point in my life. I think. I don't even know if I would ever make a comic on it. Maybe a visual novel, maybe a comic. I've been thinking about it for a little while. But, how do I explain this? Man, this is rough. I don't know why it's rough. Like, it's not exactly like a tricky subject to have. I just don't know if it would be like Disney approved. But I have two ideas for two stories, I guess you could say. So there was one story idea I had specifically for like not being a traditional Disney princess, if that makes sense. Or like not, or at least in this instance, not being a traditional Disney princess, or at the very least, not being your traditional girly girl and embracing yourself as who you are. And I wanted the whole story to kind of circumvent the like, whether it's from the Disney perspective, whether it's from like the traditional feminine perspective, that the main character wasn't themselves and they were trying so hard to fit into a bubble that ultimately they just needed to embrace who they were inside, even if it meant that they stood out from the crowd, even if it meant they stuck out like a sore thumb. And I was like, wouldn't it be cool if there was like a Disney princess that could rap? If there was like a Disney princess that like opted for the princely outfit instead of like the big ball gowns and stuff like that. And I don't know, maybe it wouldn't go over well. It was just kind of like a wouldn't it be cool if idea. And then I also had an idea for like maybe a Magical Girl show, maybe. I feel like the Magical Girl like elements can sell my idea better. However, I had an idea for a story, not so much centered around, like, I guess the younger age for, like, I guess magical girls, but like the coming of age story, but kind of like retold per se. I don't know, a rap musical number. I mean, this was before Hamilton came out, so I thought I was onto something here, and then Hamilton came out, and I was like, okay, it could work, whatever. Good to know. Oh gosh. From the screen to the ring to... Oh gosh, no. No, not that. Come on, man. We're listening to good music right now, in case you haven't noticed. A lot of great ideas start from wouldn't it be cool if. For those of you who do not know, like, okay, so just in general, I've been a big fan of, like, not like VTubing specifically, but the technology behind it for a while. Like Vocaloid and all that kind of stuff. Digital performers in general have been such a cool concept to me as someone who doesn't really want to put myself out there, but does want to be out there. And then combine the technical aspects that I already deeply admired with a admiration and an enjoyment of art, gaming, music, anime, all that kind of stuff. You smack that into a blender and I'm like, oh snap, you got yourself a VTuber. I could be a VTuber. VTubers are no longer really, I want to say, culturally barred. Before, VTubers were very much a quote-unquote Japanese thing. And a lot of the programs and people surrounding like that kind of stuff were Japanese. And courtesy of one amazing VTuber, it opened up to the West, to the English speakers. And thanks to their, for lack of better phrasing, noble sacrifice, because they got a lot of backlash for what they did. But without them, people like me would not have existed. So I'm happy that they're still around, and I'm happy that they did what they did. Bitten by a radioactive dragon and became your friendly neighborhood dragon woman. No, I mean, I'm actually a dragon. Like, lore-wise, I haven't completely... I don't have like a full lore story. I know a lot of VTubers tend to have like, here's my lore, and they give you like a whole paragraph to read. I don't really have lore right now. And even if I did have lore, I was going to leave it very open-ended. I'm just a dragon that took on a more human-y form, and now I'm here, and everyone boos, and the crowd goes quiet. And the crowd goes mild. Wah, wah, and they bring out the pitchforks. I just had a hot flash. Oh my gosh. This is it. It's time for menopause. Whoa, 10,000 lore fanfiction be upon ye. Maybe someday. Maybe someday I'll dust off the story writing skills and stuff like that and like write something more concise. I do like telling stories. I don't know if I ever mentioned that. I do like writing and telling stories, and like I said before, I had a lot of ideas for different like comics or visual novels or just stories in general. Lots of OCs, lots of lores, lots of stuff like that. And it's definitely something that I do want to explore at some point, but saying is one thing, doing is another. Always easier said than done. How I have tea with me. I should have drank the tea while I was writing Peak with Nettie. I wouldn't say I'm a good writer though. Just that I like to write. So if you're hoping for a good story, you might want to look elsewhere, if I'm being totally honest with you. Oh gosh. Ooh, also, slide right about here. Yeah, that's fine. That way I don't block chat as often. Ta-da! Now I can point to you guys. Isn't this fun? What was first, egg or chicken? It was the egg, laid by something that was not quite a chicken yet, but that egg was mutated, and when the egg hatched, it was our first chicken. Ta-da! Next question! I actually don't really know. I think I mentioned this before, but I feel like it's a rite of passage, isn't it? A lot of like YouTubers, when they hit major milestones, they do like Q&As, kind of like, or like an AMA, whichever you want to say. And I realize now that like, I feel pretty bad because for 500 subscribers, I didn't really do anything other than a community post. So maybe for like, if we ever get to 1,000, Maybe I should do a Q&A then. I have no clue. Keep a fire extinguisher next to you in case a fire already becomes too much to contain. More like some, like, maybe keep some matchsticks around so maybe it would be fire. It's actually a really good answer. Nerd answer. Okay. There's two types of people in chat. Thanks. Oh gosh. Well, I'm glad I could give a correct-ish answer, I guess. Oh gosh. But yeah, I honestly don't know. I don't know what to do in terms of celebrating like subscriber milestones. I know a lot of YouTubers, like I said, a lot of them tend to do like AMAs. A lot of people tend to do deals. What's your favorite dinosaur? A Therizinosaurus. I love the long nails. I like the idea of a herbivore that is comparable to, if not just as strong as like the big populars, like the Rexes and stuff, or the Spinosaurus and other stuff like that. But I like the different approach to them. And I guess also a little bit, I don't want to say cringy, but the Therizino is also one of my favorite tames to have in Ark. Whenever I do play Ark, I always try to get a Therizino like sooner rather than later. Oh gosh. That dino is serving. Oh my god. I'm not doing that. But what else? Other than the Therizinosaurus, ooh, let me think. I mean, yeah, the Spinosaurus is pretty cool as well. Quetzalcoatl, pretty cool as well, I guess. The Quetz. There's a lot of dinosaurs. There's a lot of dinosaurs out there in the world. That's a tough question. But to get back to that previous thing that I was saying before, speaking of milestones, I know that a couple of YouTubers love to make deals with their community where they're like, oh, if we can get to this number, I will do this. And I did think of something. I was like, hey, I think you guys have heard me sing Bad Apple before. I think it was actually on the debut of this model. I saw a video of someone singing Bad Apple in several different languages. I'm not doing that. But what if I sang Bad Apple in Polish? I know it in Japanese pretty well, and I know it, I can maybe learn it in Spanish. I could do a trilingual Bad Apple, and then have like two languages that I'm somewhat good at, and in one language I have no idea what I'm saying. But I thought Polish Bad Apple would be kind of funny. Karaoke stream. So, karaoke stream is kind of tricky, right? Even though I literally just said that like a big appeal to me for VTubing is that like they're also a lot of them are also singers, and it's kind of like, it's kind of, I want to say like, how do I explain that? Oh gosh. Good luck with that. Yeah. It actually, but Bad Apple in Polish actually sounds really good though. That's the thing that's so like annoying about it. It's like, I could absolutely learn this. I don't know Polish. I want to learn it. But the karaoke stream thing, I mentioned it before and I don't mind mentioning it again. It's a complicated thing for me because there's one part of me that really wants to try and do a karaoke stream at some point. I would love to try to do a karaoke stream, but not only are there some like copyright laws that may cause some issues that I think I could do workarounds, at least on YouTube. The main thing being that the VOD for that karaoke stream cannot stay up. I will have to nuke the stream the moment it's done, or else YouTube will get mad at me, I will get copyrighted, and we run the risk of the channel getting nuked. But if you do karaoke, you should sing It's Been So Long. Trust me, I gave this a lot of thought. But aside from the YouTube side of things, I too am just pretty dang nervous about it. I'll be totally honest. I like to sing, and I like to think that I'm a fairly decent singer. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I'm the next Beyonce, I'm the best YouTube singer, I'm the best blank. I'm just like, hey, I feel like I got a fairly decent voice, and I like to sing, and I'd like to sing with you guys if you guys will be willing to listen to me sing songs. But I also get really nervous because like, same with like my art, same with me like drawing and doing art IRL, not IRL, but like on the internet, it's different than playing games. I guess in a funny way, when I play video games, I can still express myself, but at the same time, hide behind the game, if that makes sense. I don't have to share a deep part of myself unless I want to share that deep part of myself. Sorry for the mic. And if at any given point I feel uncomfortable, I can be like, well, it's a good thing we're playing Hollow Knight, am I right, guys? No one needs to know about my inner feelings. But when I'm drawing and when I'm singing, there's no shield anymore. It's just me. And so I get nervous. I get scared because there's nothing to hide behind. There's no game for me to hide behind. It's just me or my creations or my art, and I get nervous. So I want to, and I'm too scared to. I kind of want to. And if I did do a karaoke stream, I thought about like, especially if I did multiple karaoke streams, I thought about having a theme for each one. I thought about like, what if I did a karaoke stream? Like, what if I did a karaoke stream of all of like the YouTube songs? So like Discord, It's Been So Long, Die in a Fire, even like that one Hello Neighbor song was like, hello, I'm your neighbor, goodbye, I'll see you later, this place was not for you to look and see, take it from me. I like all the YouTube songs. That Dako song that's super catchy, this reality, my vitality, everything changes so rapidly, and I'm ready for the never-ending fire, dancing with my deepest dark desires, miracles, how empirical, no one oh gosh, how to do this, no one everything around me transpires as I fulfill my darkest desires. And like, I thought about it and I was like, wouldn't it be so cool to have like themed karaoke nights? I thought about doing like early 2000s music, specifically my playlist. So like all the Evanescence, the You're Gonna Go Far Kid, the Thanks for the Memories. I thought about doing a karaoke stream for like early 2000s butt rock music. I thought about doing specifically songs from games. So like, of course there's of course there are the Sonic songs, but like songs from Xenoblade, that Snake Eater song, what is it called? I am the one who is approaching, divided. I don't know that song very well, actually. The Ankylosaurus is your favorite dino. Oh gosh, wait. The thorny something is another one of my favorite dinos. Your favorite dinosaur is either a trike or an ankylo. They're pretty good too, yeah. What's your favorite Minecraft mob? Ooh. That's a good question. Specifically of the mobs. The Warden looks super cool. The Ally is super cute. The bees are adorable, but the #1 winner of the Minecraft mobs? The Axolotl. Fun fact, before I became a dragon, I had thought about a couple of other things that I could be. I thought about being a bat. I thought about being just a witch. I thought about being an axolotl. And eventually I landed on dragon. But sometimes I think, what if I did a what if scenario? Again, like I said, if it even were to happen, it would be a long time from now. But I was like, what if I did a hypothetical where you see what axolotl Nettie looks like? What witch Nettie looks like? Which is probably just me in a big hat, let's be honest. Like, what would bat Nettie look like? I thought about a raccoon as well. Raccoon Nettie. Hey, so what if it's a basic pick? If you love them, you love them. If you do karaoke, you should sing It's Been So Long. Oh gosh, how does it go again? I don't know what I was thinking, leaving my child behind. Now I suffer the curse and now I am blind. But all these anger, guilt, and sadness coming to haunt me forever. I can't wait for the cliff at the edge of the river. It's just revenge that I'm seeking, or seeking someone to avenge me. Stuck in my own paradise, I wanna set myself free. Maybe, I don't remember the words. Maybe I should chase them down before they'll try to stop me. It won't be long before I become a puppet. And then it gets like really high. It's like, it's been so long Last I see my son lost to this monster, to the man behind the slaughter. And then, gosh dang it, I keep thinking of that guy beatboxing. God dang it. How does he do it? I'm not good at beatboxing. You know the guy I'm talking about, the one that's like boom 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 boom. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You're not the best, but you can say that you're good. Yeah, like I've already acknowledged that I'm not gonna be someone that's gonna like get a standing ovation when it comes to singing. It would be cool to get a standing ovation for singing, but I just don't think I have the voice equipped for that kind of stuff, especially right now when my nose keeps getting clogged. Ugh. Oh gosh, no. Daddy could have been Rivulet from Ringworld. I could have been! Before I played Ringworld, I could have been Riv without even knowing. That would have been funny. Axolotl Dragon. It's not too late! You guys don't know what my dragon form looks like, so... Oh gosh, okay. I know, why is everything... I decided to sing and now my sinus is killing me for it. I'm better now. Hello! Everyone say hello to Autumn right now. You have the chance to make a difference in the world. Everyone say hello to Autumn and tell her how cool she is. Ready, set, go. Now, say it now. Hi, Autumn! Oh gosh. We killing children with this one. No, we're mourning the loss of our children. And then there's a... Oh gosh, I can't fix you. I don't know what my favorite FNAF song is. Nose is also streaming. Yeah, kind of. Not really. Oh gosh. I'm trying to like think. I hope you die in a fire. I hope you get stabbed in a heart. Hope you get stuck. Like, oh, what? I am not remembering the lyrics to any of the songs I'm singing right now. There's a Norflow Ovid on Artificial with that beatboxing guy as the background music. Is there? Okay, so you do know what I'm talking about then. He's the same guy that did the I just can't beatbox, but he's like I can't beatbox. I don't know how people beatbox. Every time I try beatboxing, it gives me hiccups, so I'm gonna stop there. I'm already sniffling. I don't need hiccups on top of this. I'm already having a horrible day. You should sing Karma, or in general an AMV playlist every time we touch, or literally every Cascada song. Show me how to lie, you're getting better all the time. Oh gosh, I don't remember the lyrics of the song, but it's like, so dance, ever dance like you never had a chance, and no one even knew it was really only you. Gosh, being away. Nice work you did. You're gonna go far, kid. With 1,000 eyes and a good disguise. Hit 'em right between the eyes. Hit 'em right between the eyes. See them running for their life. Is there any game you'll play with VTuber model like Carrion? Again, funny story. So, the main reason why the VTuber model hasn't come back to videos is because that was a nightmare to do. So, I have no idea why it happened. I think I kind of know why, like, or at least when it was happening. How do I explain it? While I was playing Carrion, I didn't know what was going on. Once I beat Carrion, I've kind of like realized what was happening and how to circumvent it, but it was far too late. Carrion was done, and I'm kind of embarrassed of how awful it was, if it makes sense. So, for some reason, the recording and the audio and the gameplay were all horribly desynced from each other. And no matter how hard I tried, no matter how many times I re-rendered, retimed, skipped frames, you name it, I tried everything. the speeching, the animation, the speech, and the gameplay would get horribly desynced, to the point where it very much kind of looked like I wasn't behind the model. And I didn't want it, like, I was worried that it came off very bot-like, and I didn't want to come off like that. I am behind the model, I am moving, hi, it's me, I'm here, fuck you. And I couldn't figure out why it kept breaking like that. And it was super confusing for me, and super stressful too. I was spending hours re-rendering, retuning, and trying to fix up Carrion. And as a result, when Carrion finished, I took that time to like re-look through Carrion and try and figure out what went wrong. So as it turns out, my computer, for how decently, I would like to think my computer is moderately powerful, but for how moderately powerful my computer is, it doesn't like me recording two things at the same time, if that makes sense. So I had two instances of OBS open, one recording the game, one recording the model. That lagged out everything severely, and that's what caused the great lagging system even after I started rendering. And it was unfixable. What I found out, however, is that I could record myself, like my IRL self, then record my IRL self on a separate computer, or on like my phone or my tablet, or even with just the camera setting on the computer, and then record OBS, and that would be just fine. And then take that recording of me, put that in front of the model, and then have the model follow the recording of me, then take that finished recording model of me and put that in the video instead. And TLDR, it was very complicated to get Carrion done in a cute manner, and until I figure out a more concise way to more consistently put the model into videos, it's complicated. It's hard to really utilize the model in videos, but I do want to bring the model back for videos. I worked too damn hard on this for it to just be a stream thing. And also it's like a little inconsistent and it irks me. I've been trying for so long to sing you the right song, to show you something different every time. Oh gosh. Every time we touch. Oh god. Now that I'm being put on the spot, I realize how much I don't remember the lyrics of a lot of the songs I grew up with, and now I feel a little embarrassed. Dragonbot Wayne's Wagon. If you're talking songs, Lemon Demon, it's peak. It is peak. You just beatboxed in general? Hold on. Hold your horses. Uh-oh. Why is the first thing I see is this cursed freaking Freddy Fazbear gif? Why? Why would you do this? I just wanted to hear it beatboxing. Okay, that's way better than I could ever do. I love it though. Sounds like a whole process. Yeah. Compared to using the model in streams, it's a lot easier because OBS is running all of it on one collective. So the model and everything is intensive on the graphics card, but strangely not intensive on the stream. So no lag. I have noticed though, when stream goes on for especially long, the model does tend to lag a little bit. I don't know how to fix that. I think it's just a hardware overload. But the TLDR, for those of you who want to know, the model hasn't been in videos because it's very hard to use the model in videos, at least with the method that I was doing. I have found a resolution only after I finished Carry On, and it's still a very long process. I'm still technically required to like act it out and then record that acting and then put that into the video. So take it as you will. After that, I don't know. If you enjoy the stream, go ahead and like. Don't feel required to like for I don't know. I know I said I promised you guys that at least until the end of the year I'd be nicer, I guess. Not nicer, like I would do the YouTube thing more. But I still feel kind of apprehensive, I won't lie. You were gone for a while, so you don't know what the conversation's about anymore. A mixture between karaoke streams and VTubers. Some VTuber lad did completely change their model to reveal it once they saw them, and it said, I am literally them for real. I think, come to think of it, I think I could make a moon model and actually have it be like completely animated. Obviously, no umbilical or fancy stuff on the model, but I actually do think in theory, I could make an LTD like Big Sis Moon model and make it completely riggable and possible to use. I'm in the thick of it, everybody knows. Oh gosh. Alright, give me 1 second. Don't save that. I need to be right back because I'm pretty sure that elusive laundry has just concluded. So, if the stupid thing wants to work, hold your horses. We're gonna come over here. BRB. Right back. And then we're just gonna go ahead and do one of these. All right. That's all you gotta know. Yep. It's that easy. Bam. Okay. Appreciate art while I am gone. I need to go and rotate my laundry. You guys, live, laugh, love. Actually, yeah. Live, laugh, love. There you go. Enjoy music while I do laundry. The fun adult stuff. You guys talking about illegal stuff again? Are you guys trying to get me killed? You know Nintendo has assassins, right? I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. YouTube and Nintendo really don't like it when you talk about that kind of stuff. Alright. So, I leave you guys for a little while and you guys immediately go to the L's. So, yes, I was thinking about it for a little while and I was like, wouldn't that be cool? It's all theoretical. I'll start there. I don't know the legitimacy of how it would work. I don't know how well it will work, but I was like, hey, due to just how the program that I use works, I could probably make Looks to the Moon in the program, and then also 5 Pebbles, of course. But you know, honestly, would you be guys down for a Vroid Studio stream where I try and make models for my friends or just Moon and other things of the sort? I think it'll be an interesting stream, or just in general, like, I guess art streams or like 3D modeling streams. I'm not good at Blender, so you guys would be just as lost as I am. He's a toxic mom with the live, laugh, love, lettuce sign. Oh, LLLLL, live, laugh, love, lettuce. I literally just wrote that. I already forgot. Oh gosh. Okay, it would work well if I would remember the things that I said. Skeleton Eddie, how did you do that? Okay, well. Yeah, we can't really talk about that. At least, we can't talk about that publicly. And I'm trying to be very careful about saying the words because Nintendo does track these people down, especially smaller creators. I've seen it happen to a lot of creators that were like, especially around my size. Nintendo loves bonking the small ones, but if you get to like 1 million, they leave you alone. All the more reason to subscribe today. See, I did it. I shilled. You guys proud of me? That being said, I've been wanting to do a Tomodachi Life stream for a while. And like I said, Kid Icarus, Tomodachi Life, Fantasy Life, all games that I've been like, oh, I want to play it so bad. The Kirby games, of course. I would love to play the Kirby games at some point. Maybe someday. My earwies. I'm sorry. Oh gosh, are you saying we do another work stream? I mean, we can, I suppose. I didn't. I don't actually have a like. I mean, okay. So in terms of work-related things, first off, I want to give an apology to everybody who, first off, got pinged like 3 to 4 times in a row. I was pinging a lot of people in the Discord. Byakuas. Everyone in the last stream like this that had submitted drawings that could have been or were offered to be used as emojis, I wanted to take that opportunity to kind of like, I guess you could say, put it aside. I wanted to take that opportunity to put you guys aside and be like, all right, since you guys are contributing to the channel, since you guys are contributing to the server, and anyways, I want to take this opportunity to like put credit where credit's due and put information out there. If you guys have any socials that you guys would like me to link to and anything of the sort, I would like to do that because I would like to do a good job crediting people if it can be helped. As like, again, as an artist, seeing other artists, I want to do right by you guys. So if you are angry at the pings, you are stinky. But I am aware that I made the thread and I made like the art team per se, and then I proceeded to go AWOL for a week. So that was not very poggers, not gonna lie. These last couple of days have been rough. I'll just say it. They've been rough. I haven't been in the best of health. I've been working with a headache that just doesn't want to go away no matter how hard I try. IRL stuff like work and life is just getting me down. And ooh, I totally forgot to tell you guys. Good news for me, maybe not so much good news for you guys, but I'm probably going to start school pretty soon. So look forward to that. It probably will mean that, like, I never meant for, like, the rollback on videos to slow down as it did. Like, I never meant for, like, this moment right now where there's not really many, if any, videos coming up, and more specifically streams to be the thing that I do. But in light of how my life might be shifting a little bit, especially in terms of free time, I think the channel's gonna slow down a little bit. And man, I don't know. It makes me a little sad, but also, I need to improve my IRL life, which means getting an education. So, oops. Idea: stream Tomodachi Life on Discord. Possibly. Still on the top of a Nintendo being serial killers. They have their moments where they want to get very destructive, and then they go on a whole, like, copyright striking tirade across YouTube. I don't want to be on the receiving end on that, so I'm trying to keep my head down while they do their next rounds, which is now. And probably once it calm down, I'll probably play some more Nintendo games. Last stream just got a little crazy and overwhelming. I kind of don't really know what happened. It was definitely a lot more excitable than I thought it was going to be. I don't know if I mentioned this in the stream afterwards, but it was a lot for me as well. I think, at least for me, a big reason why it was a lot for me in that moment was because, how do I explain this? I guess kind of like what I mentioned before with, like, the singing thing and the art thing. Doing these just chatting streams, there's nothing to really hide behind. When I start to feel unsure or insecure of myself when I'm playing the games that I'm playing, I can always know that I can fall back on, like, oh, well, let's talk about the game. Let's not talk about me. I can kind of control the tide of how things go better. And it's kind of why I prefer videos over streaming, if I'm totally honest, because ultimately I can control the flow of how things go. If I want to share a snippet of my childhood, I can do it in a very calm and measured way. And if I really need to, like, redo the takes as many times as I need to for those moments. And if at any point I feel uncertain or insecure, I can fall back and be like, well, let's talk about the game instead. Less about me, more about the game. But when I do these streams, when I show my art, when I talk about the VTuber model, when I sing, I feel very exposed because there's nothing to hide behind. With this stream, there's nothing else to really hide behind. It's just me talking. So when I did that stream for the first time, I was a little nervous because I was like, hey, again, no hard feelings. I know a lot of you guys came here for specific games and specific stuff. So having a stream where there's nothing, no games, no catch-22s, I wasn't intending for it to be a making emoji stream, but how to explain this? Like, having such a positive turnout, and probably the biggest activity I've seen in any of my streams up till that point, was really shocking to me. And it really warmed my heart because I guess it kind of confirmed to me that, like, you know, I guess for like a better phrasing, you guys are here for me and not for the games. And it was crazy. It was very excitable. A lot of stuff happened in that stream, and I'm grateful for the turnout and how everybody did. But it was also a lot. But it did also make me very happy. I wasn't expecting so many people to be here just for me yapping. I kind of thought that most of you guys were only here because I was playing the games you guys liked, which, again, like I said, no hard feelings. I get it. I tend to do the same thing with some of my creators as well, where I'm like, I don't like that kind of game, so I'll skip this one. Even some of the creators I've been watching since I was like a youngling, I'm like, might skip that one, chief. Sorry. There are very few creators that I just watch no matter what. Like, no matter what they upload. Nettie's getting an education. I already have an education. I just I did this super cool thing where I went to school and I finished school, and then I kept failing the certification, and I didn't have money to, like, I failed the certification. I didn't have money to take like the test again. So I'm sitting on like a graduate that I can't use. So I'm going back to school to learn a bit more. I picked up a trade the first time around. It did take me long to finish the trade. It was like a 1-year course, and Yeah, I suck. I never managed to do anything with that schooling. So here's round 2. Hopefully it goes better. It's another trade. It's not like college. I'm not going into like some like, I'm not going to college. I'm not moving to any dorms anytime soon. But it just means that, like, ideally I'm doing online classes. So if anything, I'll probably still be at my computer stalking you guys. Just kidding. But it will mean that, yeah, it will mean that, like, things on the channel, they already have been slowing down, and they may continue to be slow for who knows how long, honestly. It could be for the next couple of months to the next year. It's projected to take about 1.5 years to finish that course. I'm hoping to take care of it faster since it's an online course, so I can spend more time on it. But life is moving fast for me. A lot of things are happening, and man am I tired. But I gotta keep going. There you become smart. My brain's so tiny and smooth. I'm finally deciding to chisel it just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Downfall of Deddy SMH. You know what? I don't mind if the downfall of Deddy is because she left to go get school. I hope you, ugh, gosh, I don't know. Such a dark topic sometimes, you know? Just get a game where you have to think basically nothing. It would be really close to it at any moment. Ready to close it at any moment, sorry. You've also been considering going back to school, but actual school? My, where I live, they were offering free courses, but it's like a catch-22. So it's like there's only a few limited amount of courses available. And it's only one per person per year. So, I'm using up my one for this year now that, I'm able to do it. What game Tuesday? I'm probably going to try and continue, what was it called? Shipwreck 64. We finished kind of like the first half of the game. There is a huge other second half of the game that, from what I gather, is a lot longer. If I had continued to do it in that stream would have been 10 hours, and we know what happens to like streams that are a little too long now. We learned the hard way, and now I have to fix it. So next stream will probably be Shipwreck 64 Asterix, because I'm not really comfortable usually playing horror games. However, I do want to play that game because that has been a long time requested game on the not just the channel, but like I guess the community as a whole. So I want to give it an honest effort. We had a community member give me a guide, so we won't be stuck for hours, and I'll try and stomach as much as I can. But after Shipwreck 64, honestly guys, I don't know. I really don't know. I've been I won't lie, I've been kind of enjoying having this dial back from like stream and stuff, or like YouTube stuff in general. I'm still working a lot behind the scenes, and like I said, IRL stuff has been yanking me every way between work and life and what might be now school as well. So there's a lot to juggle. There's a lot to juggle right now when it comes to like how am I going to juggle a job, a school, and YouTube at the same time? That's going to be a little tricky, isn't it? But I want to try at least. And unfortunately, if it gets to be too much, then maybe the channel will just go on hiatus for a little while. And don't forget about me. I'll be back, I promise. Probably when I finish school. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I still gotta sign up for school. My Team Kirby Clash Deluxe stream is alive. Congrats. Nice. Last stream was a great time. You had a blast and you loved seeing all the art and involvement in chat. Well said. It was such a heartwarming moment. I won't get into the whole nitty-gritty of like the hows and whys, but I was pretty bummed out and stressed those past couple of days. And that on top of trying something new. That on top of like trying to do something so, I guess, different from what I have been doing up to this point on this channel. I was nervous and I was already in a bad like headspace, and seeing so many people come together to do something for me, I felt just as much undeserving as I was grateful. I was so happy to see all the like fan art and the drawings and stuff, and just seeing all you guys working together like that. And I felt so undeserving to be the person receiving all of that. I feel like there are far more deserving people to be getting the like fan art treatment, but I'm so grateful nonetheless that you guys chose me. So sincerely from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Now, as for work-related things specifically, right, I never finished my thoughts from earlier. So, how do I explain this? Ideally, I have work later today, so maybe not today, but maybe tomorrow if I'm not too tired. I want to try and get started on the emoji stuff. So those of you who are in the art team, I will probably be making a more formal discussion about the emojis, what like parameters the emojis need to be. If you're unable to do your emojis in a certain style, we'll be there to help you. If you need help working on the model, we'll be there to help you. I'll probably be designing some myself. So having emojis on stream is complicated. Having emojis on stream is going to be a little bit complicated because I think first I have to set up memberships, and Google Analytics doesn't like me. I think for some of you guys, you probably noticed that once upon a time, I did have a donation indicator on my stream, and then it vanished. Google, the TLDR to that without doxing myself, Google doesn't like me. So now I have to contact them personally and be like, hey, it's me, Nettie. I'd like money, please give me my account back. Oh gosh. The imposter syndrome part of the stream. All right, you know what? Fine, we talk about other things now. We talk about other things now. Sassy. -3 points. Mom says it's my stream, and I get to choose the trauma dump. I'm kidding. However, yeah. So I also wanted to take that moment in the art team thread to kind of like, I guess, propose something to you guys. So since an update to this model is coming out pretty soonish, I was like, hey, how to explain this? Like, since there's a new version of the model coming out soonish, should I show you guys the model, not only so that I can get some input on my own designs, but also so that you guys can get a head start on redesigning the emojis to the new appearance, if needed. If anything, we'll use both. ¿Por qué no los dos? Why not both? Speaking of not liking someone, your chat broke again. Oh gosh, dang it, JNT. How does this keep happening? Why does YouTube hate you? Gosh. Poor Kirby's beating a big Waddle Dee to death. I miss Kirby Clash Deluxe. It was so good. Oh man. I was thinking about it though. Like when it came to this stream, I was like, when it comes to this chatting streams, like I guess you just chat, right? You just sit there and chat about things. There's not really any catch to it. Like I mentioned before, I was debating whether or not I should like put on like a game or play like a very like harmless game while we chat, or if we should just focus on the chatting perspective of it all. I have no clue. What is happening here? Oh. Does your chat only break on Nettie's stream, or is it a technical issue that isn't her fault for once? I don't think it's my fault. And I'm not saying that like in a defensive. I think JMT mentioned that it happened in other creators like comment sections as well, and like streams. I was a big Dr. Heelmore main. Technical issue is technical issue. You know what? I shouldn't jinx it yet. Not yet. I was about to say it. I'm not gonna say it. Everything's going. Everything is going. We'll leave it there. So. Ooh. I feel like, did one of you guys have a question earlier? You had the exact same issue very recently. YouTube has been funky. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm trying to scroll through. I'm pretty sure one of you guys had a question before I left to go grab laundry, and I'm trying to check and see if I accidentally skipped it. I didn't mean to skip it. Oh gosh. So Nettie, who are you voting for? Kool-Aid or Capri Sun? Wow. When was the last time I had either one of those drinks? Those are very much drinks that you had as a kid and you don't think twice, and then you drink it as an adult and you're like, wow, this is just sugar. This is just liquid sugar, dyed red. It's just sugar. Wow, it's so painfully sweet. And then you realize you're probably gonna get cavities. Ugh. Neither. Thoughts on all failure is psychological until death. I've never heard that before. Is that a quote from something or somebody? Because I've never heard that quote before. It's kind of scary. I'll be honest with you. It's a bit of a scary quote. All failure is psychological until death. How do I feel about that? I feel like there's probably some truth to be pulled from it. I feel like for most statements, there's truth to be pulled from almost every statement. Almost. There's always the argument to be made about perceived failure and how failure affects you and how one should handle failure. I think I've mentioned this before, but I feel like I am somebody that has often been decorated by their failures. I feel like I tried a lot of things in my life. I tried to do a lot of things and be a lot of things and failed at a lot of things. And now I realize as I'm older, I built up a really bad habit. I got so scared to fail at anything and everything that if I didn't feel like I was going to be good at something, which is already an inherently flawed mindset to have, if I didn't see the perceived natural skill in something, I would give up. So I would, in a sense, I guess you could say, psychologically fail myself. I would refuse to try anything because I was too scared to fail, thusly failing to try anything. If that makes sense. And, I don't know if that's the point that you're trying to get at with the quote, but it's a quote that pops up a lot in psychology majors. Oh. I hope I'm having a good statement here then. Oh gosh. Jun Ishikawa is so good. I can't believe there's even the Kirby spin-offs and minigames have bangers. I agree. I don't think breaking my leg was the only psychological. It was a psychological win, if anything, only a physical loss. There's that, yeah. Failing at a lot of things, but admitting you failed at them is better than failing a few things and denying your failure. I need to keep giving good quotes, sorry. No, it's a good thing. No point in it, just wanted to hear your opinion. I hope that I'm making sense with what I'm getting at. I know I'm not really answering it, I'm more so giving a story, but it's easier for me to answer this with kind of putting myself in the shoes of that situation. So to me, when I see all failure is psychological until death, it's like I said, for me, I started to give up on everything. I stopped trying to do anything. I kind of had this joke with my friends that my trigger word, quote unquote, is prodigy, because the concept of prodigies do kind of bother me. I'm not gonna lie. I can't even sugarcoat it. I was trying to think of a nice way to put it, and I was like, no. The concept of a prodigy makes me really upset because I wanted to be a prodigy. And I know, I'm gonna preface this by saying I am aware that this is a toxic mindset that should not be reverberated or repeated by other people. But you know how some parents are very houndy on their kids. Some parents are like, you're going to do piano, you're going to do violin, you're going to practice gym, you're going to do this consistently and frequently. I kind of get envious of those kids who are like the child prodigies, who have like their tiger parents who make them do this thing and keep doing it. I kind of get envious of them, I'm not gonna lie, because to some degree, it meant that they believed in them. And I feel like my mother, a lot of people, never believed in me. And well, I can definitely recognize how toxic that situation can be, to be more or less forced to do something, whether or not you enjoy it or not, but to be forced to do something, to perform, to create, it stifles the joy of doing said things. But it also means that someone believes that you're capable of doing more. And I feel like a lot of people looked at me as I grew up in life and said, oh, she's not going far. She's not going anywhere. And I kind of wish that somebody had pushed me, even a little bit, because it meant that they believed in me. So I say all that to say that, like, when I was younger, I used to try a lot and I used to fail a lot. But then I got so scared of failure that I would pull the trigger early. I would pull the plug early on things because I was going to fail. There was no guarantee whether or not I was actually going to fail, but I couldn't allow another failure to happen. So I stopped. I would cut things off. I would be like, I give up. I refuse to continue in this thing, so I refuse to do this thing, so I'm not failing. Technically, I never failed. Ha ha ha, I win. Kind of. Not really. Automatically failing by never trying. Pretty much. It's wasn't there a fentanyl song? There was a fentanyl song that was like, I can never fail if I never even bother. I think it was a Katamari. She's like, I'm at your barking collar. I can never fail if I don't ever even bother. Or something like that. I forget. The song goes really fast and it's really hard to sing along to it. But Fentanyl really likes to make songs that are just like, oh yeah, I just want to listen to their songs. Love it. Most of the time you don't know how to succeed until you fail. It's a natural part of learning that you can't get everything right the first time. That is true. That is true. I think for me, I feel like the failure started to add up. And ironically, and I know this will sound crazy after everything I've said in the past couple of like streams and videos and stuff, I never really felt insecure in myself, if that made sense. Like for a very long time as I was growing up and when I was younger, I didn't feel insecure. Like I said before, I was aware of my skills. I was like, hey, I know I'm not the best singer. I know I'm not the best artist, but I also know that there is room to improve. But I need someone to believe in me. I need coaches. I need teachers. I need people who are willing to push me and be there and be like, you're going to do this because you're good at this. And we want to see how far you can go. And no one did that for me. I tried applying for choirs. I tried submitting my art portfolio, my photography to various places, and to no avail. And eventually, after like the 50th time failing, after failing a coding class and like the coding certification 8 times in a row, after failing your school certification, after failing to get into any choirs, after failing to get your portfolio seen by anybody, after like years of that happening, that's when I had my first thought. Maybe I'm the problem. Like, at this point, is there really always somebody who's better than me? Or am I just not good enough? And that's where it all began. That's where the downfall started. I hate prodigies. I hate prodigies. Oh gosh. Thanks for coming to stream, Autumn. Not trying is far worse than failure. They are not comparable. It's something that I'm struggling with now. And for those of you who don't know, that's kind of why the channel exists, if that makes sense. It's kind of why the channel was conceived in the first place. To stop giving up. I used to keep trying and giving up. So I was like, okay, this time we are going to do something. We are going to make this thing. We are going to work on this thing. And you're not gonna delete it, you're not gonna nuke it, you're not gonna give up unless like absolutely necessary. Unless like it was a life or death situation, would you give up on this? But for once, you're going to commit and you're going to try. And when your series don't do well, when you don't get subscribers, when you lose subscribers, when you're failing, when things aren't going your way, when streams aren't bustling, when your videos fail, when no one cares about the recent games you've been playing or the things you say, keep going and accept the failure and move forward. Like, look, I'm not blind. I know that like games like Nine Souls has not been doing well for the channel at all, but I didn't want to give up on it for multiple reasons. One, I like the game, and second off, like, I don't want to give up. I don't. This is so real. It's not a toxic mindset, it's a real mindset. The thing everyone thinks but can't say out loud. And that's what I hope to do. I know it's like kind of ironic because I'm like parading around as a fictional character, but like, I want to be transparent with you guys. As much as I'm comfortable, rather. I want to be as transparent as possible with you guys when it comes to like my feelings and my thoughts and stuff like that. Like, I know that when you do like the YouTube thing, there's a certain game you gotta play. There's a certain like way you need to present yourself. And I want to be honest with you guys throughout this journey, because a lot of this journey, a lot of the very conception of this channel was centered around me learning to accept myself, failures and all, and being okay with the highs and lows of life, if that makes sense. Like, I wanted to embrace myself, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the journey to doing so. Who is Nettie? What does Nettie like? Rediscovering myself, what I'm passionate about, what I enjoy, what I want to do, what I want to be, what I want from the future. And that's kind of the that's kind of like the original origin of the channel, if I can be totally honest with you guys. So for those of you who were not there for the story time, when I first made the channel, it was for a selfish purpose. I just wanted to prove to myself that I could do something to completion. I wanted to prove to myself that I don't just give up on things all the time. That was the very conception of the channel. So I told myself, I was like, okay, what is something that I could do that I know with confidence that I could do, not mess up, and see through to the end? So I've been playing Kirby Superstar Ultra since I was a baby. I could play that game with my eyes closed. If there's any game that I could do the quote-unquote YouTube thing with, it would be Kirby. I played that game so much since I was a little kid that I know things about the game. I know interesting tidbits, lore. I know how to 100% it 100 times over. I can play it, like I said, I can play that game with my eyes closed. So doing the walk and talk of YouTube, which is like, you know, talking into the mic whilst also playing the game, would be incredibly easy. And so I said, all right, here's the deal. You could do this in your sleep. Play through Kirby Superstar Ultra, 100% it, and don't touch the channel. Don't nuke your channel. Just let it exist and live with the fact that at the very least, you are someone that managed to do a playthrough. A full playthrough on YouTube. Not a lot of people can say that. So, I recorded the Kirby Superstar Ultra, and I just let it be. And then I was like, hey, that's pretty fun. What if we play another game? So I played another game, and I was like, that's pretty fun too. What if we streamed? And then I tried streaming. And I was like, hey, that's pretty fun. What if we played more games? So we played more games. And then somewhere along the way of just trying to prove to myself that I'm capable of doing things without giving up, I went, wait a second. I have a community. And I care about this community. I want to do good for the community now. I have something to look forward to. I was just trying to prove a point to like my inner demons, but now I have something I really care about. And my effort to be selfish, I found something that I'm kind of selfless for, in a weird, ironic way. You have a 500 subscriber channel and they don't, so who's laughing now? Probably people who can pay their rent on time. Let's be honest. After you left your mom's art classes, it got way more fun and then you improved way more because I was making art, not for the class, but for me. I think that's what the model was for me. I think for a long time, I was drawing because I wanted people to like my art. But working on the VTuber model was the first time in 6 years maybe that I drew something just for the sake of me. I drew and made a model with the intent and idea in mind that I was going to be behind it, that there was no external forces, nothing else. I'm behind the model. And at the end of the day, even if there was outside influence or anything related to the model, I'm still the one piloting it, so it's still me. At least to a degree. I did make the model, but still. But, yeah, so I want to say when I was like 8-ish maybe? Yeah, 8 years ago, I kind of got burnt out on art. I felt like I couldn't stare at my own art and be proud of it anymore. I hated drawing. But I also didn't want to stop drawing because, like, if I wasn't the artist, who was I? I love doing art and I want to improve on my art, but at some point, I hated everything I drew. I hated everything I made. And I couldn't stand to see my own art. I always felt like, how come everyone else's artwork is improving and mine is staying the same? I can't get out of my comfort zone. I can't improve. Everyone's art is amazing. And I still feel very insecure when I see my art. I still feel like very insecure when I look at my own artwork and my own creations because I'm like, oh gosh, it could be so much better. It should be so much better. And I know that like every artist goes through that mindset, so you're not alone if you ever felt that way. You know what I like nowhere? It's like falling face first into a pool. Resigning is worse than finishing the game. If you lose, you learn from your mistakes. If you quit, you walk away with less. That's true. And I feel like in a funny way, Rainworld was a great lesson in that. Rainworld wants you to quit, I feel like sometimes. Rainworld is very much like the life is unfair and cruel. And it's like, yeah, I know that. Let's fucking go. Nowadays, no one's an artist, but everyone's a critic. Yeah. At least for me, I still want to be that artist. I may not be able to see eye to eye with you guys on every little aspect of life and perspectives and stuff like that. But as someone who just wants to create for the sake of creating, selfish or not selfish anymore, I want to do good by other creators, and I understand your gripes and your pain, and I want to do, if I can do anything, I want to do right by you guys. Same with a lot of the games you play. I mostly watch what I've already played. Yeah, so when the channel first started off, I tried to prioritize games I was already familiar with. I wasn't familiar with that Hat in Time, so that was kind of like a leap of faith. But the main reason why I was playing games like Shantae and Kirby so much was because I was like, these are games I'm very well familiar with. And I just, at that time, I just wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. I wanted to prove to myself, I was like, hey, I did one playthrough. What if I did another one? I know Shantae very well. Let's play Shantae. Okay, and now I have 2 playthroughs under my belt. What if we do another one? I know this Kirby game. Let's play this Kirby game. Let's play Cuphead. You beat Cuphead before. Let's do it again. Okay, let's do another game. Let's do another game. Let's do another game. And it was only until later that I really started to play blind games. And of course, once like Rainworld came into the picture, that was a catalyst for a lot of things changing really quickly. I'm excited, but it was a lot. I will be totally honest. It was a lot. You think the way the channel is for you is how you view LC? Yeah, I think so. I think it's exactly like that. Like initially, like I said, initially the channel existed to prove a point to myself that I was capable of doing things. That I was capable of seeing things to the end and achieving things, good or bad, that I was able to not give up anymore. I wanted to prove to myself that I'm not a quitter anymore. So I made the channel to prove that as like a testament to myself. So whenever I felt like, oh, I'm a quitter, I always give up on things, it's like, what about that? What about that thing you made? You never gave up on that. You saw it through to the end. And yeah. Like I said, my feelings on the channel have shifted over time. It's not so much shellfish anymore. I saw shellfish and my brain's like, shellfish. But the channel may not be as selfish anymore and just for me, but the origins of it still ring true to me. The channel exists to prove to myself that I can do more. And I do have dreams and ambitions of being more. I don't know what it is. I'll be totally honest with you guys. I don't know what it is. I don't really have ambitions of being like the next big thing. I don't have ambitions of being like a million subscribers, or like being well known in this sphere, or being the best VTuber ever, or whatever. I never really had ambitions like that. I just wanted to see, how far can Nettie go? How far can I go? What is Nettie? Who is Nettie? Is Nettie somebody that can get to that number? If so, that's cool, but I'm not striving to do this for popularity. I'm not striving to do this for money. I'm not striving to do it for any of those reasons. I'm striving to do it to see if I can do it. I do YouTube to see if it's possible that for me to do YouTube. But I also have to be realistic, so that's why I'm picking up school. And I still got bills to pay. So, to be honest, if YouTube can pay the bills, if YouTube ever becomes anything bigger for me, if I ever did become a big creator, of course that would be amazing. You're gonna look at me in the eyes and say that if you couldn't do the thing that you love and get paid to do it, that wouldn't be the greatest thing ever? I'm not gonna sit here and play pretend and be like, I'm in it for the love. It's like, I'm in it for the selfish purpose, like I said. I'm in the YouTube thing to prove to myself that I am able to do this. But if I got paid to do it, that'd be great too. I still have bills to pay. I still have to be an adult at the end of the day. The stream ends and I still go to work. Sorry for the heartbreaking revelation, but like, I've never really been someone that was striving for fame and glory, if that makes sense. Like the TLDR, it was never about fame or glory for me. It was just about proving a point to my inner demons. You don't believe that there exists a truly selfless act. Everyone does things for selfish reasons, no matter how small. Honestly, I agree with that. I feel like throughout my life, I have met a lot of selfish people who did selfless things. And again, not to I don't mean to be ominous when I say this, but I'm trying to figure out the nicest way to say this. I went through a moment of my life where I was very much a prime target for people who wanted to seem like the hero, if that makes sense. I was in a very vulnerable and a very horrible spot, and it made a lot of people do selfless things for me, but only because they wanted to be the good person in the story. They wanted to be the hero that saved Nettie. And I'll tell you right now, nothing makes you more jaded to humanity and how selfish people can be than either A, being in a position where people want to people only want to help you for the benefit of themselves, or B, working retail. Working like any of the minimum wage jobs, like retail or like fast food and stuff like that. That's when you see the worst of humanity. Nothing will make you more jaded than being in that position. I promise you, nothing will make you more jaded than that. Even giving to the homeless, there's a part of you that does it for the feeling of being a good person. Exactly. And like I said, I know that sounds really mean, but when you're on the receiving end of that, and you can kind of tell that especially for a lot of them, you can kind of tell that it's not coming from a place of, I genuinely just want you to be a better person and be in a better position. And it comes from a place of oh, everyone's gonna think I'm so good because I helped her in her trying time. You start to feel less like a person and more like an object of I guess, something to be claimed, if that makes sense. Some sort of victory to claim. You start to feel a lot more like a goalpost to people than an actual person who needs help. Glad folks realize that being selfish isn't inherently bad. It's something that I'm learning in the more recent days, like the last 2-4 years. This is the first time in my life I really got to be selfish, properly selfish, and do something just for me, not because someone asked me to do it or someone begged me to do it. I got to do something because I wanted to do it, and no one could really stop me. And I never got to be selfish before, so it's a pretty good feeling. It felt good to be able to do something without having to ask for permission or worry how other people are going to feel once it's over. I just did, and it happened. It was a great feeling. You gotta be a little selfish. That's not bad. You gotta take care and think about yourself. However, selfless acts do exist. You cannot do something selfless, then that's fair. By all means, it's kind of like the not to bring him up, but like, it's kind of like the big issue with like Mr. Beast, I want to say. Like, by all means, he's given so much to people. He's helped a lot of people, but he very much did it for personal gain. So does that take away the good that he's did purely because he was selfish? Or does it taint the good that he did because he did it with the intent in mind that he was doing it to benefit himself? Even if the catalyst at the end of the day was still kind of helping people, until he started to do like really dubious like game shows and stuff like that. But I don't know, I've seen that conversation around Mr. Beast for a long time now, and it's still something that I kind of think of from time to time. Is like, if you do something good with the intent in mind that you hope that people see how good you are and support you for being so good, are you a good person? Like, for example, if I ever did get big as a YouTuber, one thing I would love to do is charity streams. I have always deeply admired YouTubers who did charity streams for a wide variety of things. And I feel like if I did get to the point where my platform was big enough to make a stand and make a statement and give money and help people less fortunate, I would like to do that. But am I doing it because it makes me look good? Obviously not. I want to help people. But there's always going to be that like certain degree of like, if I wanted to help people, I could just donate to charity right now, and I don't have to make it a whole stream or an announcement or anything of the sort. I could just do it myself with my money. Why? My biggest issue, I guess you could say, is like, a lot of people will rule you as a bad person unless you list how good you are, unless you do make it clear, I do good things. A lot of people nowadays either feel like they have to, or absolutely have to say, I did this thing because I'm good. Because a lot of people's first ruling on people is that they're not so good. I feel like an issue I encountered a lot throughout my life was that because I wasn't very loud about the things that I did, good or bad, a lot of people kind of came up with their own impression of me, which was often bad. And it's like, well, that kind of sucks, because I don't feel like I'm a bad person. I did all the good things that other person did, but I just didn't say it out loud. How come they're the good person and I'm the perceived bad person, all because I just didn't say it out loud? It never made sense to me, and it always felt a little, I guess you could say, unfair at times. I don't know. I think it's unfair to say that about everyone else. I've seen truly selfless acts. It's a thing that beauty to discredit that because it cannot understand it is unfair to those people. Being a jack of all trades is my aspiration. You know, honestly, I'm not sure either. I grew up never outgrew being a jack of all trades, master of one. I feel kind of conflicted, I want to say. Because there's one part of me that's like, I wish I was really good at one thing. Because I feel like I know a lot of things, but I'm not particularly good at anything. Like I said, I feel like I'm a fairly decent singer. I'm a fairly decent artist. I know how to sew and knit. I'm a fairly decent baker. I feel like there's a lot of things that I could go down the list and be like, here are all the things I'm good at. I'm fairly decent at sniping in video games. I'm not at esports level though, so what good does it do? Otherwise, I'm just a sort of good sniper. I'm not sure. I feel like I stuck my finger in so many pies, and I've worn so many hats, and as a result, I do have a lot of skills under my belt, but other than very niche situations, how often do they actually genuinely help me? Here's a question. If you could sacrifice yourself and everyone would live better lives, but no one knows you did it, would you do it? Basically Jesus, but no one remembers you. I would do it in a heartbeat. However, I'd like to know that it actually did happen. Like, if that makes sense. Like, if there's any way for me to know after I'm gone that it really did happen, that the world didn't get corrupted again, that people's lives got better, I would sacrifice my health, my whole life being, and my life just in a heartbeat. I know what it's like to be at rock bottom, and I know how hard it is when you have a hard life. And I'd like to do some good in the world if I could. if I had that position right now, like I said, I'm not exactly rolling in dough, so doing good in the world is just kind of like when I get the chance, not like a changing hundreds lives at a time. Okay, well, I don't want to be Jesus. Let me clarify that. I have no intention of being Jesus. I don't know. I don't mind sacrificing myself, I suppose. You would not become anonymous Jesus. You wouldn't? Okay, well now I'm feeling a bit singled out. Hi Salmon, welcome to the stream. The intent is most important, Imo. Else criteria changes and you get Squid Game IRL. Seek purpose, not validation. Yeah, you know what? That's exactly it. That's exactly it right there. I feel like I spent a good chunk of my life growing up seeking validation from somebody, anybody. I think more so than anything else, I wanted the validation of someone recognizing that I was worth it, if that makes sense. It sounds dark, I know, it's kind of dark. But like I said before, I feel like a lot of people didn't believe in me. I feel like I spent so much of my life with people kind of losing hope in me and being like, she's a lost cause. So it made me very, very adamant to find a thing that clicks, the thing that I'm a natural at, that I'm truthfully and honestly gifted at, something that I'm a prodigy in, something that I'm way ahead of my time in. And I wanted to do it, especially so that people could see that they shouldn't give up on me. But in an effort to seek that validation, I lost all sense of self, and I didn't know who I wanted to be anymore. I feel like everything that I wanted to be failed, so I was too scared to do the things that failed. And I didn't want to try anything else because I was worried about said failure, but I wanted people to see that I was capable of doing things. It destroyed me. This conversation got dark. We do indeed have a Discord. We do. I tend to try and have it in the description of all my videos. I should start doing an outro. I should probably start doing an outro and being like, consider Discord. That would not be the YouTube outro. That's not the outro. I'm not doing that. Oh gosh. But we'll be happy to have you here in the Discord. Plant trees, even if you won't get to sit in their shade. That's beautiful. You should write that down. Or is that already a quote? Is that a quote or like something you said? Because if it says something you said, you should make that into a quote. That's beautiful. You've been in a similar boat. You became the world's most incompetent people pleaser. Yeah. It's a it's a tough situation to be in for certain. I don't blame anyone who falls in that position, especially if it's like, how to explain it? Especially if it's anyone who's been in a similar boat to me, where you were in a position where you felt like you were less than a lot of the time, if not all the time. And like I said, at least for me, it got to a point where I just wanted to know if I was good at anything. And I wanted people to acknowledge that I was good at that thing. That for once in my life, I wasn't playing second fiddle. There wasn't someone who was better than me. There wasn't somebody that was there wasn't someone better than me for once. And that I was the best for once. For once, I was the greatest person in the room. The one who wins. I didn't win anything. And being surrounded by nothing but winners made me kind of bitter. For lack of better phrasing, I got pretty bitter about it. It was frustrating constantly being the one that was losing when everyone else was like succeeding and moving on and succeeding more, and I didn't have anything under my belt. So I sympathize with the people who feel that pain. Whew. That tea hit good. Oh wow. The tea is completely cold, but it's good. We are all winners now. We are all winners under the sun. Yes. Reject playing it cool, except being passionate. I'm trying to find that passion again. I think I mentioned it in a Hollow Knight stream, but not a Hollow Knight stream, a Hollow Knight episode, but I feel like I've lost a lot of my dreams and my passions, if that makes sense. I feel like I lost a lot of those things as I grew older. And while I do have dreams, they're very, I want to say, baseline. I feel like a lot of my dreams are like, I want to have a house when I grow up. It's like, well, yeah, most people do because, well, no one can afford a house anymore, but that's a conversation for another day. Maybe not for the stream. Maybe never for the stream. Like, there's definitely a part of me, there's a big part of me that's like, oh, you know, I have like all these like normal, I have all these like normal dreams, but what happened to the dreams I used to have when I was a kid? What happened to the dreams of like, I'd love to perform on a stage someday. I'd love to make art and show it on the internet. I'd love to make my own comic someday. All those dreams all but dwindled. It was sad. What the hell is a house, bro? Beats me. Hollow Knight streams confirmed. I already confirmed it. I already said that I was going to do Hollow Knight streams in the future. I don't have a due date on them, nor a specific timestamp for when I'm going to do them. I'm trying to take this time as I dial back from doing like video related content to just kind of like exist. To just exist as I am. It is freeing. In the sense of stopping care about what people say about me is one of the best mindset changes you had in your life. It's freeing as hell. It was a weird feeling. I feel like as a kid, I didn't care how people perceived me. Or at least, I didn't care how a lot of people perceived me. I was very much like, I was that cringy kid. You know what I'm saying? I was the Sonic OC having, pretending to be a wolf in the playground, barking at people, here's my OC, yes I have a Tumblr account, all this kind of stuff. I was that cringy kid. And then I grew up and I just was like, whatever. I'm still cringy. I still like furries. I still like all these kind of stuff. I'm just not energized enough to deal with that kind of stuff. I can't be fussed. Give me 1 second. You're always one decision away from a completely different one, like starting a YouTube channel for a selfish reason. Maybe. In a sense. How do I explain it? Oh, gosh. I'm a slow typer. I'm so sorry, guys. It's hard to say if YouTube has, like, changed my life, but I definitely have had a perspective shift in life. How do I explain this? So, obviously, for those of you who do know, I'm not getting paid by YouTube right now. My monetization thing blew up. I'm still trying to fix that. And you don't start getting, like, monetization from ad revenue until you're at 1,000 subs. So, in the sense that of, like, I guess, financially or tangibly has YouTube changed my life? No. But, like I mentioned before, YouTube brought something else to the table for me. It gave me a reason to keep going, if that makes sense. That sounds dark. I didn't mean for it to sound dark. Oh gosh. Okay. Let me try and rephrase that in a more sensible way. Or like, I guess in a nicer way. Oops, sorry. I bumped the mic again. So YouTube hasn't changed my life, but I definitely did get a sense of reason from doing YouTube. After, like I said before, it started off as a selfish reason, and then it became something that motivated me to get out of bed in the morning. Something to look forward to. on like the really hard days. Something that like after a crappy day at work, I feel like crap. I hate every second. I hate my everything. I knew that like on the bus ride home, I could read the comments and reply to them. I knew that like, hey, you know, you have stream on Tuesday. It's gonna be great. You're doing a second stream now. People have been asking about that, and it's been exciting. And I haven't had that in a very long time. I haven't had a purpose and a reason to work towards something in a very long time. I kind of lost purpose, and I don't know. I definitely feel like it's something that I haven't had in a very long time, and it's been really great having it back. To have something that's like, all right, let's get up today. You never realize how great that feeling is until you've been without it for like a very long time. Next time you talk about Hollow Knight stream, I'll freak out again. Well, I mean, at the very least, I know I can make you excited. That like, if I can make you happy knowing that there's like going to be another Hollow Knight stream, then that's cool. Maybe you should lock in and finally play Ultra Kill with Knuckle Blaster only. I should lock in and play Ultra Kill, period. That's another game that's been highly recommended of me. If anything, maybe after Shipwrecked is done, I'll play Ultra Kill, because I think other than Ring World and Shipwreck 64, the other biggest game that was recommended to me was Ultra Kill. So, who knows? This is not guaranteed. I'm just kind of like talking out loud at this point. Moving slowly with intention beats moving quickly without purpose. That's true. Just a little bit of steps every day is better than none step at all. So, a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time, and hopefully we'll get somewhere, I think. Fingers crossed. Oh gosh. She plays Shipwreck 64. I did. Last week, Tuesday, I played Shipwreck 64. I did the first half. I did the 2024 version, but I need to do like the OG version. The stream should be up, I hope. Unless something happened to the stream. Oh dear, now I'm nervous. Now I'm scared. What happened? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nothing happened. I was scared for nothing. You guys made me panic for no good reason. I won't lie. I feel a little lightheaded. I know that's like completely off topic, and I don't mean to make you guys panic, but I was like sitting here and I was like, is it just me or is it getting hot in this room? And very spinny in this room. And very... Oh dear. I'm fine. You know what we need to do? We need to turn on the fan. Now. First half. Okay. It's probably not the first half, but it proposed to me 2 versions of the game to play. I was told that this other half, quote unquote, of the game is like 5-ish hours of game time. So the next stream will probably be the next stream of Shipwreck 64. We'll try and go as far as we can, or at least as far as I can mentally stomach being in a scary game. Scary. Alright. I'm gonna warn you guys right now. I'm turning on a fan. It might blow into the microphone. I have no clue. Let me double check and make sure that it's not. It doesn't look like it, but oh gosh, maybe cooling off a little bit is something that will be kind of useful right now. Go figure. Actually, now we can keep going. We're fine. Undertale or Deltarune, I've already played both of those, unfortunately. It wouldn't be a blind playthrough. Happiness is like money. To have a lot, you need multiple resources of income. That is true. That is very true, but that's only really something you could do when you're already financially secure. Kind of a catch-22, isn't it? I'll try and get as far as I can into Shipwreck 64. I can't guarantee that I'll beat the game. I don't really stomach horror games well. I know that for a lot of people, they really enjoy horror games, and I acknowledge that Shipwreck 64 has a lot of like story and interesting like ARG elements to it. I'm just not good at being scared. I don't like being scared. So I'll try and play it for as long as I can comfortably play it, but no guarantees that I will beat the game. Okay? But I will try. I will try my best. The carbon monoxide is spewing everywhere. Ooh. From the looks of what I've seen thus far, I think the 1986 version is the spooky one. But I do want to try. It's okay, not every Let's Play must be blind, right? I mean, yeah, like I said, a lot of the first playthroughs on the channel were not blind. I feel like I've been playing a lot of blind games lately, and you know what? It's actually something I kind of wanted to talk about. It's a tricky thing to talk about, but something I did want to talk about with you guys. So, gosh, this is tricky. Because I've been playing a lot of games blind recently, both on stream and amongst videos, it's been causing a lot of like issues, I want to say. There have been some people who I know they mean well, but they tend to be like, oh, do this thing because blank, or just flat out spoiling the game. And while I have really been enjoying playing some newer games that I have not seen before, being introduced to their stories and trying to analyze said stories, I am also aware of the issues it's been causing. I feel like it's been causing a lot of back and forths. People who either want to help me through the game, people who either want to spoil the game, and the people who want me to experience the game blind. And it's been causing a lot of like back and forth. And it makes me a little bit anxious, I won't lie. I don't know how to approach the situation. And I don't want to... I feel like a lot of it is my fault, I'll be completely honest. I feel a lot of it is my fault because I invited it. I kept asking, where do I go next? What do I do? Tell me what to do next. And I didn't mean it in a sense of like, give me the answers to the story. I meant it more into, hey, I know that I can be quite space-headed, very airheady, if you want to say that. I know that I can be very forgetful. So if I'm forgetting something, or there's something that I was supposed to be going to, or something I was supposed to be doing, I don't mind being pushed in the right direction. However, I do not like it when people are like, do this thing. To solve this puzzle, you need to do this. It's like, hey, you know, there are more tasteful ways to help someone that isn't just giving them the answer. And that's what I was kind of hoping for. And in retrospect, I should have been a lot more clear and transparent with you guys. I should have been a lot more like clear about what I was hoping for in terms of like advice when it came to like the series. I wasn't hoping for answers. I was hoping for, I guess, nudges in the right direction. I still wanted to experience the games blind, and I do feel like I did a pretty good job experiencing a lot of the games blind, but I definitely also feel like, how do I explain it? I wouldn't say my experience playing the game was tampered with, but I definitely, like, having so many people going back and forth a lot of the times made me feel really guilty. And I feel like I, myself, owe you guys an apology for allowing that to go on as long as it did. And I am really sorry. I should not have let it go on as long as it did. I should have nipped that in the bud way earlier. I was honestly too scared to do it. I'm too scared to crack down on people. I know I probably should, like, especially if you're going to be doing like this line of work, quote unquote, you have to be more okay with being like, you stop that. There have been so many situations, and honestly there have still been some situations where people have said or done things or continue to do things, and it's like, I don't want to like discipline or bonk anybody on the head because they did something or anything of the sort, but also I have to be mindful of like, hey, are they making other people uncomfortable? Having been in that position before, like, are these people making it so that other people don't want to watch? Are these other people making it so that other people do not want to comment or interact or have a good time? Because ultimately, I want everyone in this chat, everyone in this stream, everyone in my videos to have a good time. And if somebody or something or some entity is causing that to not be the case, then I need to crack down on it. But only I can crack down on it. But I don't want to like do it to somebody, especially if it's like, I don't know. Like, what if it's misguided? What if I'm not right in my choice? What if I'm just doing it because, like, they struck a nerve? Ultimately, I mean, I guess for like a better phrasing, it is my channel, so I can choose whomever stays or goes. But I don't know. I feel just as guilty of letting it happen as I do like feel like there are some people that I feel like shouldn't have done it. No. I don't know. Obviously, for obvious reasons, I don't want to say who it was because I do not want that person to get, like, that person or persons to be witch hunted and shamed for what they did. Because I do genuinely feel like a lot of them did it with a good place in their heart. A lot of them did it because they're like, she seems stuck. I should help her. She doesn't know about this. This thing is very hidden. And if it's a first time playthrough, I want her to see everything. So I know that for a lot of these people, it came from a good place in their heart. And I guess the TLDR is, you know who you are. And I can say though that I can say with confidence that as of right now, nobody who is chatting is guilty. Nobody who is chatting is the culprits. So you're safe. You are safe. Do not worry. Oh gosh. Gasly gatekeep girl boss. Sure. The real gas leak was the friends we made along the way. Shipwreck 64 IMO is probably exactly under the binding of Isaac's ARG. I don't know how intricate the ARG is, and like I don't know how intricate the ARG is when it comes to Shipwreck 64. I just heard that it has heavy ARG elements, so I don't know. Hi Therapy, welcome to the stream, and hi Eshu. Both of you, welcome back. Guilty. You know who you are. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. It goes without saying, I don't want you guys hunting them down, shaming them, or attacking them for what they did. And if anything, like I said, it is my job, being in the position that I am, to crack down on people who are misbehaving. And to crack down on people who are spoiling blind gameplays. Now, to be fair, I can't like ban or time out everybody because sometimes maybe they're just joking and I don't want to jump the gun too early. I don't know, it's tricky. But it's something that I've been thinking about for a while, and it's something that I feel conflicted on. Like I said, it's not a big deal at the moment, but there have been times where there's like, I think to myself, like, I need to be more willing to discipline. It may be better in the long run if I discipline harsher. How do I explain this? I trust you guys, and I want to keep trusting you guys to be good people. For lack of better phrasing, I trust you guys, and I want to keep trusting you guys to do good. I want to trust that you guys aren't going to do inappropriate things or illegal things in neither my Discord server or on the YouTube, whether it's in comment sections or in chat. I trust that you guys know how to behave yourselves. I don't know how old you guys are. Don't tell me your age. I do not care. But I trust that you guys are mature enough to understand that when you're on this, when you're on the internet, when you're on people's like streams and stuff like that, or in their servers, there's a certain etiquette to be followed. There are still TOS terms that you have agreed to using and being a part of upon being on the site, and let alone just be on my stream, and I trust that you guys will follow it as such. However, there are times where people skirt that line and push that boundary just a little too much, and that's where I need to come in. And I feel like I failed you guys. I feel like I've allowed some things to go on for far too long and fester, and I can't help but worry that there are definitely some things that have hurt for it. I can't promise that I'll do anything now or ever. Like I said, these are things that happened a while ago, and for the most part, I am grateful that they managed to resolve themselves, for the most part. But in the future, if there's like somebody or something doing something that I do not like, I need to be more adamant about being like, stop or you're getting banned. I will not watch pirated movies, Netties, I promise. You guys are adamant on getting me in trouble today, aren't you? I really can't be talking about that kind of stuff. YouTube kind of keeps an eye on you when you talk about that stuff, especially excessively. They start to think that you're promoting it and then you get in trouble. That's why I'm trying to not talk about like this 3DS stuff. I saw what you guys are talking about, and I definitely think it is like technologically impressive. I can't acknowledge it. I'm sorry. We'll just leave it at that. You guys are making me tread on very light water. Speaking of light water, I don't know why I'm so lightheaded. The fan is helping though. I'm gonna lean back for a little bit. I'm still here to chat. I just might be a little bit further away. That's also why, like, especially in the more recent years, you see a lot of YouTubers saying things like PDF file, unalive, all these like super annoying things, because YouTube, it tracks the things that you say. Especially like when like streams and videos, it tracks the stuff that you say. And if they feel like you're saying something that's a little too inappropriate, especially in succession and excessively, they start to secretly hide your channel and like mark your channel down as like inappropriate levels. Gas leak, Nettie. I don't know if it's a gas leak. I don't feel tired. I just I've had a chronic headache for like the past couple of like days now. It doesn't want to let up, so this is my life. Miss Nettie with the chronic headache. They're chilling together on the balcony. Oh my gosh, they're dating! YouTube and Nintendo are dating and holding hands. How cute! You will forever loathe the time good friends turn into good memories. Is this also a quote? This feels like these feel like quotes from like a game or a movie or something. If you're actually coming up with these are really impressive. Did you ever add the new music you posted to Stream Music? I haven't gotten the chance to get to it yet. I have not. I keep telling myself, on top of the list of things I gotta do, I need to finish getting the rest of BwueBerry songs onto this playlist I made. I have not. At least not yet. But eventually, I'll take care of it. I guess I could technically do it now. Why not? I don't know. Ooh. Not a quote. Mine. You make really good quotes. I don't know. Is there like such a thing as a quote book? Artists, musicians, now poets are being attracted here as well. That actually makes me genuinely happy. I like that concept. I hope that's the exact crowd I'd like to have. And I hope that I continue to pull crowds like that. I'm happy to have you guys here, and I can only hope that I inspire you guys just as much as you guys inspire me. So thank you for being here. It legitimately means a lot. Now hold on. Get rid of that, and that. Oh gosh. What? Ooh. Jeez, I keep hitting the microphone. I'm so sorry, guys. You should not get all of them. Some are unfit for your stream vibes. Listen to the specific tracks before doing anything with them. If anything, I might divide them. So far, I feel like of the tracks I pulled thus far, I'm pretty happy with this playlist, and I just really like the stuff you make in general. Is this someone here a writer as well? We have 2 writers now. That would be... Hold your horses. I can pull that up for you. The first one is Blowy. Blowy writes some stuff as well. And then on Discord, they're called Nickel the Wise. So we have 2 authors that at least I know of. I'm sure there's probably a fanfic writer hiding somewhere in this chat. Somewhere. Someone you know is a fanfic writer. It's like a threat. Can I suggest some music for maybe Halloween stream next year? Absolutely. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I used to write poetry. I used to write a lot of poetry. I kind of stopped. I don't know why I stopped, to be completely honest. I guess I just wasn't really like feeling it anymore. But I used to write a lot of poetry. I don't know if I have them anymore. It was a lot of like slam poetry for what it's worth. Nothing like super like prosy or flowery or anything of the sort. You're a magnet for artistic people, I guess. You know, I think I can live with that. Even if I myself am not the best artist out there, I can live with being a magnet and a, I guess ironically, like no pun intended, a lightning rod for creatives to find each other. I can live with that. That actually kind of makes me really happy the more I think about it. Ugh, that makes me giddy. I hope if I can bring people together to desire to be creative and do more, that kind of makes me pretty happy. Your track, The Drone, is ambient and scary / unsettling. Ooh, but now I want to listen to it. Oh man, I'm kind of interested now. Alright, I won't lie guys, I'm not like seriously lightheaded, but I definitely have that weird like fuzzy feeling in my head, and it's not, I'm not like in pain or anything, but it is a very like, I wonder, it's like I want to take a break, but I'm like, from what? This whole stream is a break. A dragon that hoards artists. Unique concept. We haven't finished the lore yet. Maybe that could be the lore. Ew, I like where this is going. Netty music review stream. I feel like I got asked this before. I don't know if you were the one that asked me this at some point, but I'm not opposed to doing a music review stream. However, I would highly recommend that you go to somebody else. I don't mean to burst your bubble or like crush your dreams, but I don't know nearly enough about music to give you any like insightful perspective on music and how it feels or how I think about it or what I think of said music. If you want somebody who does really good music streams and can actually give you like educational and factual and interesting inputs on said music on reviews, a fellow creator called Axiom Archives, he does quite a few streams like that. It's where he does like video game soundtrack breakdowns of all the songs in the soundtrack, and he's far more equipped for that field of work. He knows far more about music than I do, and I genuinely do feel like, well, I'm not opposed to doing it. I could not provide you with good enough content, if that makes sense, and you would be better suited going to his streams and watching his stuff and enjoying the stuff that he does, because he's far more equipped for that field of work. I feel like if I did a music stream, it would just be like, music nice, and I wouldn't really be able to add much to the conversation. Drink more water. I had choked. I choked. Ooh. It does feel nice to drink that. Yep, that beat go off. I mean, pretty much, yeah. I don't really know if I could provide any valuable insight into like music other than that sounds super nice, so pretty. I like how this one sounds. And I feel like, I don't know, he's better equipped for the job, so go see him. Leo mentioned. Oh gosh. I'm trying to like think of like something to follow that up. I can't. If somebody knows what they're talking about, then it's not funny. I can imagine music ranking sparking conversations and discourse in your stream. Better yet, maybe Leo can do the smarty pants part and I can do the music nice part. Every good story needs a good cop, bad cop. How about that? Do you guys think that would be a fun idea? It would be a beautiful mess. I mean, okay, in terms of musical hot takes, I can tell you a few right now. So, one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time. Do you want to know what that is? I want you guys to guess, actually. Guess first. What do you guys think is my all-time favorite video game soundtrack? Give a guess. You guys know a couple of the games that I play. You guys know a couple of the songs that I know. What do you guys think is my favorite soundtrack? Because I promise you, you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna know. If someone guesses correctly, I'll be surprised. Music woman! Was that you drinking water? Mayhaps. Mayhaps is... Liquid! This music sure is electric. Music good. I hear music with my ears and music good. Hooray for music. It's like those songs where the guy is spitting fire and the guy in the background is who shouts yeah ever so dry often. Yeah, I'm literally Lil Jon. Like Leo will be there like, oh, you know, this is like some sort of like musical jargon that I don't understand. He'll be like, oh yeah, so you hear the leitmotif again, and then he pulls out his keyboard because he's talented like that, and he's like, you see, they play this piece and it leads you to feeling a certain sensation because this chord leads to this, and I'm in the background like, music good. Nintendogs, close but no, very close but no. I see Xenoblade, I see Licorice Cat, Shipwreck 64. That intro song is really fun. The song that plays on Boot Up is very catchy. Some Xenoblade track, Kirby. It is cold tea. It's not, I don't drink alcohol, guys. Sorry to burst your bubble. It's not Wobble Dogs, no. Not Animal Crossing, not Hollow Knight. Oh, by the way, this song is in 7/4. It has the keychains after the F major 7 chord. Yeah! And I'm just like, yes, I get that. Yeah. What the fuck is he talking about? I do love the streams, though. No hard feelings. I just know nothing about music. Honestly, though, watching his streams have been helping me. I started to, like, get better at counting beats and songs and stuff like that and guessing it on my own. So, educational and fun. The whole package in his streams. Is it from Kirby? Is it from Pokemon? No. You like Nintendogs music? I do! I do! Unironically, when I give dogs bath, I play the bath time music. It just feels right. Although, Nintendogs is not my favorite soundtrack of all time. My favorite soundtrack of all time is the Sonic Unleashed soundtrack. I shit you not. I wholeheartedly believe that the Sonic Unleashed soundtrack is perfect. I feel like they have a song for every situation. It is incredibly replayable, has a high replayability. There are high-paced songs for high-paced situations and lower-paced songs from lower-paced situations. All the songs on that soundtrack are awesome. There's not a single song on that soundtrack that I hate, and that even includes the E-ranked fucked up orchestral version of the completion. That is one of my favorite songs actually on the playlist. I wholeheartedly love it. I love it more than the Xenoblade soundtracks. Sonic Unleashed soundtrack is my favorite soundtrack of all time. It's actually minor 7, but yeah. You know what? Don't ask me to do a music review ever again. Something similar to Nintendogs. Devil May Cry. DMC2 Blaze. It is best game. I have to stop my joke. It's copyright. He's gonna kill me. He's gonna throw a pizza at my house. I knew it. The Sonic Rush soundtrack is pretty good too, but not up there for me. Okay, the Sonic Rush soundtrack is high up there for me, but in terms of my all-time favorite video game music soundtrack, Sonic Unleashed, and then the Xenoblade soundtrack. So, yeah, take that as you will. If it's controversial, I have no clue. I should have seen that coming, TBH. What about the jazz band Night Music? I love that so much. It's the same song every time you get in a fight. Not every song, like not every night fight. Sometimes you get like the boss music that's like ba, da, 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 and then the guy on the drums just goes absolutely ballistic. I don't know why they decided to get like a speedcore drummer for the Sonic Unleashed soundtrack, but they should do it again. That was funny and a perfect choice. But honestly, yeah, I feel like, okay, let's say you're doing something chill. You're studying, you're drawing, you want like chill, slower paced music. Put on all the night music in Sonic Unleashed. You're exercising, you're trying to stay upbeat, you're doing something energized. Put on the daytime music. You're doing something that's fairly neutral. Boss music, the hub world music, the whole soundtrack is perfect, man. It's my favorite soundtrack by a long shot. I would have known that without my memory loss. To be fair, I don't think I've ever actually admitted it on stream before that my favorite soundtrack is Sonic Unleashed. Like my favorite video game soundtrack, rather. And of course, I love Crush 40. I don't listen to all their songs, but of course, I love and know the Sonic songs. Ooh. For people who know, like for people here who know the Sonic songs, like the Crush 40, Cash Cash, that kind of songs, what is your favorite lyrical Sonic song? I'm curious to know that because I had a conversation like that not too long ago about what was my favorite lyrical Sonic song, and honestly, I don't know. I feel like Endless Possibilities is up there for me because I feel like the lyrics in Endless Possibilities resonates the deepest with me. However, Live and Learn makes me want to freaking throw a table at somebody. I love that song so much. You can't not like Live and Learn. Water Palace Theme is my favorite song from Sonic Rush. The Sonic Rush soundtrack is really good, don't get me wrong. The Sonic Rush soundtrack, and a lot of the Sonic music in general, like their soundtracks are really good. Sonic Rush especially, on the DS, it's really good. However, I feel like the sheer diversity of the Sonic Unleashed soundtrack is what pushes it higher for me. Because I feel like, compared to any other soundtrack, compared to any other game, I feel like, as much as I love Xenoblade, and Xenoblade does have amazing music, it's like, oh, you know, you have some night songs, you have some daytime songs. They're all good, don't get me wrong. You have your songs for different situations. But Sonic Unleashed provides you a soundtrack within the soundtrack. You have a chill game soundtrack within just Sonic Unleashed. You have an upbeat soundtrack within the Sonic Unleashed soundtrack. And that's what pushes it just a little bit further ahead than not Sonic Unleashed. That's why Sonic Unleashed to me is better than the Xenoblade soundtrack. Endless Possibilities is banger 2 from the main theme of Sonic Unleashed. Lyrically wise, like in terms of how the lyrics resonate with me, Endless Possibilities. Purely from a musical standpoint, Live and Learn. Copyright strike any percent. I've sang a lot of songs in this stream. We're probably gonna get copyright striked at some point, let's be honest. You talked about it before when you were playing a Sonic game or something. I remember that. Oh, who here has the bad memory now? You love my sweet passion. Who's gonna rock the place? The zebra head version of His World is great too. I don't know the name, but this is the one that the line is most known for. The MC3 soundtrack is so peak all my life. I should listen to it at some point. Your ass hasn't played a single Hedgehog game. I only felt this unable to relate on 500 other occasions. I mean, like I said, if I ever did do a karaoke stream, Crush 40 night, Sonic songs only. You know what? F it. The Sonic Unleashed opening. Who here even knows about, not Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Underground? How many of you guys know the show Sonic Underground? You might know Sonic X. You might know, Stat AM. You might know those Sonics. How many of you guys know Sonic Underground? Because that opening goes so unnecessarily hard. I love that opening so much. The show is awful. I watched it completely. It's not the greatest showing of Sonic. It's definitely something you could do with the IP, but that opening, oh, I wish they made openings like that. I never felt much emotion completing Rainbow, but when I heard you cry, it looks to the moon. As much as it hurts my masculinity, I shed a tear. I cried too. We cried together. Oh gosh. Okay, the Rainbow soundtrack is really good too. It's probably third place in order so far. In first place is Sonic Unleashed. In second place, Xenoblade Chronicles. Just all of them, the trilogy. Because it would be unfair to be like Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, and 3. So, Sonic Unleashed, Xenoblade the Trilogy, and that soundtrack, Rain World. And I will admit, like I said, I probably wanted to talk about this more in depth once it got to like making that elusive video. But a big reason, one of the reasons, there's a lot of reasons why I cried as hard as I did at the ending of Rain World. And a big contributor to that was Deep Light, that song, the song Deep Light. And I don't know how else to explain it other than that is exactly the song that exemplified how I felt in that moment. That's exactly the song. That's exactly how I felt in the moment. And I already felt horrible, and then I already felt incredibly emotional, and then Deep Light kicked in, and I was like, I was ugh. Oh gosh, can I even? Oh God. The triplets born, the throne awaits, a sea of wands of a deadly fate. Give up your children, separate, bide your time, lie in wait. Sonic Underground, Sonic Underground. They made a vow their mother will be found. The triplets grow and learn what's right. Leaders of the freedom fight, they seek their mother, she knows they do. Is it time? If she only knew, will the prophecy come true? Sonic Underground, Sonic Underground. I long for my children, but I have to wait. To act too soon could seal their fate. They made a vow their mother will be found. Sonic Underground. I love that song so much. Why is it so good? The show is shit. Oh, I love that so much. He put his whole soul into that. He didn't need to. He really didn't need to put his whole like heart and soul into singing that, but he did, and thank goodness he did, honestly. Which, by the way, since we're on the topic of childhood shows, I need to confess something. As a Latina, okay? As a Latina, I need to tell you guys right now. Whoever on the team at 4Kids decided that the Kirby Right Back at Your show needed Meta Knight to have a thick, fake Spanish accent is funny as hell. I promise you. I, as a Latina, find that funny. My mom, who's a Latina, finds that funny. My partner, who's also Latina, finds that funny. We think that's funny, okay? No one finds that offensive. Whoever thought, you know what Meta Knight needs? A really thick, fake Spanish accent. It's so smart, because that is so funny. Who looks at Meta Knight and goes, Kirby, you need to inhale the power, Kirby. And it's like, oh my god. I probably could have sang it better, let's be honest. The Sonic cartoons are goated. All of them are goated. They are. One of the only Sonic songs you know is a Shadow theme. The Meta Knight guitar that plays with the Spanish guitar. God, I wish anytime I entered a room, a very Spanish guitar played. It's so funny. It fits him though. You're right. It fits him though. And I'm saying this obviously I don't speak on behalf of all Latina people out there, but I'm just saying, listen, as a pure review, me, my mother, my sister, my family, everyone I know who is Latina, I show them the Meta Knight stuff and they're like, that's funny. Speedy Gonzalez from Looney Tunes, we're like, that's funny. I think something people fail to realize is that Latina people exist for the bit. We just love a good joke. We don't really get offended that easily. At least the people I know don't tend to get offended that easily. So I feel like a lot of people tend to get very nervous where they're like, oh, is this harsh? Is this offensive? First off, just ask. And second off, the answer is most likely no. We were just gonna be like, that's funny. And as a kid, I could acknowledge that, like, hey, that's funny. Giving Meta Knight a thick, fake Spanish accent is funny. Do that more. Normalize giving fighter-type characters thick Spanish accents. The one that goes, waking up, breaking out. This is what it's like to be free. Shaping up, break it down. This is what it's meant to be free. Wake. This is what it's like to be free. Shaping up, break it down. What it means to be free. Waking up. I feel like when you say the lyrics like that, I don't know what it is. Shoot. You never met another Latino person that was genuinely offended by Speedy Gonzales or anything of that sort. I grew up loving that sort of stuff in a Mexican household. I'm glad I'm not alone. See? Another one, another one for the books. Gosh, I'm so sorry. My brain is like stammering. I'm short-circuiting. Help. But I grew up watching it. My sister and I were like, that's funny. My mom saw it and thought, that's funny. Oh gosh. Like, it's perfect. It's perfect. And I definitely feel like we're never gonna see that again. To be fair, everyone in that show had a really weird accent for no good reason. But especially Meta Knight. The fact that every time he showed up, there was a Spanish guitar. Every time he showed up, and then he had that thick accent. It was perfect. Please do that again. That was hilarious. I loved it so much. Do it again. Oh gosh. The Kirby opening too. I watched Kirby Right Back at Ya both in English and in Japanese. I really like the show. It's cute and wholesome. Do I still remember the lyrics? I don't know if I remember all the lyrics in Japanese, and I very well may butcher it, but I think it was like it was very different from the 4Kids like English version. The 4Kids English version was like a jazz solo, and then the Japanese version was more marching band inspired, where it was like Itademo gusu kabi hoshi no kabi Naru naderu yo hontu kana Fukushira chikawa wo motsu densetsu no heira wo suai hoshi no senshi Nandayon dayo kabi. Ted Lewis as DDD was also perfect. That was perfect casting! That whole show had perfect casting and no one appreciates it. I need a monster to climb with that there, Kirby. Oh gosh. Ba ba ba. Kirby, 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 that's the name you should know. Kirby, 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 he's the star of the show. He's more than you think, he's got maximum pink. Kirby, Kirby, Kirby's the one. He comes right back at ya. He comes right back at ya. Give it all that you got, take your very best shot, cause he'll right back at you for sure. How can I help you, King DDD? I need a monster club of that there Kirby. That's what we do best at NMB. You better get it with a money back guarantee. Oh, Kirby, 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 saving the day. Kirby, 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 he's here to stay. Don't be fooled by your size, you won't believe your eyes. Kirby, 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 the one. Right back at you. Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh, 4Kids did a great job on their openings. Their censorships are questionable, but whoever decided, like, all right, the One Piece opening is going to slap, the Kirby opening is going to slap, the Sonic opening is going to slap, like the Sonic X opening is going to slap so hard that it becomes the main slogan of Sonic, even though he never said that in his life. 4Kids had one thing going for them, and it was their opening. How many of you guys know Code Lyoko? Wait, this is important. How many of you guys know Code Lyoko? This is important to me. Code Lyoko. I don't think it was on 4Kids. I think it was on May it rest in peace. Does anyone remember Jetix? Code Lyoko was on Jetix for a while, along with Digimon. And oh man, I used to love Code Lyoko. And I'm gonna spend this whole stream just singing like songs from my childhood and then getting copyrighted for it. If this stream doesn't come up, you guys know why. Don't me. Don't you have to know what Code Lyoko is. Please, I'm begging you. I need you to know what Code Lyoko is. Oh, don't hurt my soul like this. Why is my spoon so tiny? I just realized I have such a tiny spoon. I didn't even know I owned such a small spoon. No one knows Code Lyoko. What is this cloaca you're talking about? Your mother's. Code Lyoko. I don't know what Coco is. People should know that. Oh gosh. Thank you, Pav. The one where they had a big forehead. How do you help me and hurt me in the same sentence? In the same breath. Under my roof. Unbelievable. Hate it here. Hate it. You know what? Stream over. I'm out. I'm kidding. Although I probably should wrap up stream pretty soon. I do legitimately have the work later today at some point that I need to like make preparations for. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, sing the theme, Nettie. Oh, sing! And he cracks down the whip and he's like, sing the song! Sing the song! And I'm just like, okay. Oh gosh, but it's like, how did it go again? Here we are, going far to save all that we love. If we give all we got, we will make it through. Here we are, like a star, shining bright on your world today. Make evil go away. And then it gets like very auto-tuned here because it was back when auto-tune was popular. But it's like, Code Lyoko will reset it all. Code Lyoko be there when you call. Code Lyoko be there when you call. Code Lyoko stronger after all. Okay, I'm done. Let me check how much time I've got. Let's start there. It's a late shift, so silver lining, I guess. I work the late night shift, and I feel like somebody from my job probably knows I stream, because I swear every time I try and do something new with the channel, they're like, we're gonna change your schedule, and now you have work right after you do stream. And it's like, thanks, let me change my schedule again. Oh well, I have some time actually. We're not hurting. I think despite Sad AM and Sonic, it's having good stories and animation, ignoring Underground because it was shit. I think Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog is still your favorite Sonic cartoon. That's fair. That's totally fair. I don't know which one is my favorite. Not Sonic Underground. It is shit. But opening's amazing. I always prefer Sonic being more of a cartoon character than a hero. I feel like, I feel like I'm inclined to agree. I feel like a big reason why I enjoyed Sonic was that because he wasn't your typical heroic hero. He wasn't like very like, I do good because I'm a hero. He was just like, hey, I do it because it's the right thing to do. I do it because why not? Because I don't want to see my friends get roboticized, or I don't want to see innocent people get hurt. I'm not doing this because of some hubris or because I want to be a hero. He just does what he wants to do, and what he wants to do is good. And I always kind of like the message behind that. Sonic Boom is funny as hell despite the redesigns and stuff. The redesigns and the way this show was redesigned definitely irks a lot of people. But I will admit, Sonic Boom made me laugh pretty hard on multiple occasions. Ooh, here's another question for all you Sonic fans out there. Who is your favorite voice actor for Sonic? I know judging by what some of you guys are saying, a lot of you guys grew up with Jaleel as your first Sonic. I feel like I grew up with Jason Griffith being my first Sonic. And now we have Roger Craig Smith. So I guess if Roger is not your favorite, how do you guys feel about Roger being the new voice of Sonic? Ooh, somebody else who knows the Sonic OVA! Get Blue a medal. You honestly do not remember a single thing about Sonic Underground because it was like 8 or something. Oh, you watched it when you were 8. Yeah, I watched it when I was super young, and then I ended up rewatching it again when I was older, and I was like, yeah, it's still shit. Sonic Boom is really funny, but they don't feel like Sonic characters. They feel like good and funny characters with Sonic designs. You know, that's a good way of putting it, yeah. I feel like, I definitely feel like the show wouldn't have landed if the Sonic, like the main Sonic cast wasn't the forefront, even with their design changes. But I definitely could have seen this being like a spin-off series with the Chaotix or something. They're already rather comedic by nature. Having them do what Sonic Boom did, I feel like arguably for the fans would have gone over better. But overall, I feel like they did the smart choice of using just the main cast in a more comedic sense. But I also do feel like Sonic Boom wasn't serious, and it wasn't trying to be. So from a comedic standpoint, I feel like I did a good job. As a story for Sonic, not a good job at all. And I feel like a lot of the episodes that failed in Sonic Boom are the ones where they tried to make some sort of story happen. Because it's like, you're not really built for stories. You're more built for like the slice of life silly moments between Sonic and his friends. And I think if they maintained that and kept that, it would have gone over much better. But they tried to have their cake and eat it too. Like, eat it too, sorry. They tried to have their cake and eat it too. They tried to both be a show with serious moments and also follow it up with a very dorky, ridiculous episode and expect us to take it seriously. And just, what is it hitting? Jason Griffith is your favorite voice actor for Sonic. Roger is alright. Roger might be your favorite. Jaleel White comes close too. I didn't grow up with Jaleel, but I do like, I feel like each person that played Sonic, Jaleel, Ryan, Jason, and now Roger, I feel like each one of them brought a new thing to the table. And all of them, I feel like, had their own interesting take on Sonic, and as a result, when you think about it in chronological order, I feel like it's a really fun way of seeing Sonic. So like, you start out with Jaleel White, where at his core, like I said before, at his core, Sonic is just a good person. But he is still a teenage boy. He's a brat, he's fussy, he's not very respectful a lot of the time. He can be a little rude at times, but he does the right thing because he's still good at heart. And I feel like Jaleel White captured that perfectly. The like, kind of like rowdy troublemaker, but still heroic at the end of the day, still doing the right thing. Then I think after Jaleel was Ryan in the Adventure series, and then we get to see an older version of that Jaleel. A bit more mature, a bit more like knowledgeable of himself and the world around him, but still a little too sassy for his own good. Sometimes saying things that don't need to be said and doing things that don't need to be done. Then we get to Jason Sonic, who I feel like is someone who like deeply mellowed out and started to take his heroes, like all his heroic isms more seriously. He really wanted to just like do good and just be good. And I feel like when you follow that in order, it's really funny, because then you get to like Roger Sonic, who still wants to do good, but he kind of found that sass again that he lost somewhere in the middle. somewhere between his like puberty phases, he started becoming sassy, but not sassy in the way that like he was when he was younger, when he was Jaleel and Ryan. He's sassy from like a jaded perspective of like having done this hero thing for so long. He's still gonna do the good thing because it's the good thing to do, but he's also like, yeah, let's get it over with. And I don't know, when I think about it in chronological order, it's like watching Sonic mature in real time, and it's kind of cool to see that. Or at least, that's my personal headcanon. Thanks for dropping by the stream, Boo. It's been a lot of fun. This has been a lot more relaxing, and I think we both found this a lot more enjoyable, perhaps. Sonic Boom is perfect for the chaotics. It's a shame Vector is only a cameo, basically. I like Roger and Jaleel because they keep that attitude, which I like. I like that too. Like, I grew up with Jason, so I feel rather biased. I'm so used to and far more comfortable hearing him as Sonic than I do Roger. Even now, after it's been like a decade of Roger at this point, I still feel more comfortable hearing Jason as Sonic than any of the other VAs as a Sonic. And so there's a part of me that definitely is like, yeah, I'm pretty biased. I grew up on that guy. I grew up with Jason being like my main Sonic voice. So Roger, I'm always distinctly aware that it's like somebody else, and I'm like, you're not Sonic, but he is now. And I do agree with you. I definitely really do enjoy the fact that how do you explain it? I really enjoy that he brought back the sassiness. I feel like the sassiness for Sonic has been gone for a very long time. He wasn't allowed to talk back for a while. I felt like maybe he'll be like, oh yeah, I'll knock you down, but he didn't have like his, like back when he was Jaleel and Ryan, he'll just be like, you're stupid, I'm gonna kick your ass. And I kind of miss that. Like, he doesn't do that anymore, like specifically that, but like I said, it's more like a dry, cynical humor from someone who's been doing this for a little too long. I don't know if I ever mentioned this. I think I may have mentioned it in like maybe like a one of my videos, but I actually really like voice acting. So I take a lot of interest in voice actors and how they do what they do. I don't really know how good I am at voice acting. I feel like what I always end up doing is I start doing voices for characters, and then I chicken out because I get insecure about said voices for characters. And then it's like, I'm just so sick, I can't possibly keep doing voices. I'm so sorry. But honestly, I really like doing voices. And if there was anything that I would love to do, whether it's an aspiration or a dream, or just something that would be cool to do, I would love to have a voice acting gig one day. I tried applying for a couple of like games that have been coming out. I have actually been trying to apply in addition for some VA roles. No luck so far. But maybe someday. I'm a big fan of voice actors, and ooh, I don't know if I told you guys this story. How many of you guys know Christina V? How many people here know the voice actress Christina V? She is the voice actress. She's probably best known for her role as Shantae or Marinette in Miraculous Ladybug. But how many people are familiar with that name? I'm curious, because as it turns out, I've been very familiar with her for a long time. So, when I was super young, there was a show, like an animated show on like Newgrounds that I really, really loved called Tome. There's a character in Tome named Dust Bunny that was voiced by Christina V. I didn't find that out until later. Later on in my life, like a couple of years later, I would go on to play Paladins. There's a genie in that game named Ying, voiced by Christina V. After playing Paladins, I would discover the game called Shantae. The titular character Shantae of the series Shantae is voiced by Christina V. Finally, after years of Christina V, I mind my own business. I am at peace. There's a new Magical Girl show. There's a new Magical Girl show coming out. It's based in France. I love Magical Girl shows. I'm first in line. Who's voicing Marinette? Christina V. I don't know how. I don't know why, but I cannot get away from Christina V. I love her. I love her work. I do not know how she keeps showing up. I'm not looking for her. I'm not looking for her next work. I'm not looking for what she's doing next. She just keeps showing up. My whole life has been Christina V. Well, of course, also the other big, like not just Christina V, of course, but I feel like, you know, everyone always says like Tara Strong, Grey DeLisle, Rob Paulson as like the big VAs of their childhood. Christina V was stalking me. I was haunted by her. And I love her work. I think she does a great job. And I like her. And yeah, like I said, I'd love to do voice acting someday. I don't know. I would like to pursue Thing someday. Pursue Thing would be fun. Pursue Thing would be cool. And I look forward to it at some point. Oh gosh. Check your windows, Nettie. She might be watching still. Possibly. I mean, who knows? If it ever turned out that Christina V knew who I was, first off, I want to tell her this story. I want to tell her how I haven't been trying, and like, it sounds mean, but it's like, I want to tell her how I wasn't trying to be her biggest fan. I just accidentally became her biggest fan and decided to commit. I would love to tell her that, and also ask for an autograph. I would really like one. Oh gosh. Well, I mean, yeah, like the more I think about it, I'm like, who is my favorite voice actor? I don't really have like a favorite. I know I guess a new upstart in the VA scene is ProZD. ProZD started off on Vine, and I feel like he got the dream, right? He started off just doing silly stuff on the internet, got recognized for his skills, and now he's doing voice acting work for God of War and like anime dubs. Ooh. I'm jealous. I won't lie. I'm super jealous. Oh man, that's like the dream, isn't it? Working hard, having your hard work recognized, and then from there you find success. And then she goes and does that Caramel Dancing cover and the Bad Apple cover. She does a lot of covers. She knows what's up because she's smart and skilled and talented and whatever, man. Whatever. Fated to become a fangirl. I was designated fangirl at birth, forced to become her #1 fan against my will. I had no choice in the matter. It was always bound to happen. What a pity. What a pity. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to like think. Like I said, there's Tara Strong, Grey DeLisle, Rob Paulson, Cree Summers. That's another one. Cree Summers is another one that like probably was your childhood. I'm trying to think of anyone else. Now that I've put myself on the spot, I don't know. But I know ProZD has been a recent like big name making waves in the VA scene in recent days. Oh, Michael Kovac, I think his name. I'm probably butchering his last name. But you may know Michael as Funtime Freddy from Sister Location, I believe. I think they're the Fun Times. I don't know my FNAF lore that well. He's the little ghosty guys in A Hat in Time. And most recently, he has been Angel Dust. He's another name that I feel like I've been seeing a lot all over the place. There was something else that I was watching not too long ago that I was like, oh hey, it's Michael Kovac. Kovac? I'm gonna butcher that name so bad. Gosh, to say that I'm jealous is an understatement. I'm jealous of a lot of people who found success in their craft. I won't lie. Like, I mean, as per the earlier conversation, like, it's something that I wanted for a very long time. I wanted to be recognized for my hard work and my achievements, and more importantly to be recognized that like, hey, you know, she's really good at this. Let's take her places. So I'm always a little envious of the people who made it. I'm envious of the people who's like, whether it's like YouTube or art or singing or voice acting or whatever, when it takes off for them, because I'm like, oh man, I wish that was me. But, you know, now I'm just tired and I'm just like, let's just get through the day. Oh, we got a night shift today. We will deal with it when it happens. It'll be, what was the joke? Like it'll be out when it's out. That's what they say. It'll be out when it's out. He is Angel Dust, I think. Pretty sure he's Angel Dust. I heard he was Angel Dust. Maybe he was Pilot Angel Dust. I don't remember anymore. Don't quote me. Check IMDb. That's much easier. Who else? I wonder if I ever could get a voice acting role, honestly. Like I said, I have been trying. I applied an audition for a couple of stuff, but I haven't heard anything back, so safe to say no. But maybe someday? I hope so. It'd be cool. If there was ever like a fan dub for anything, like a mod that dubs a game, I'd be totally there. Especially if it's like for a game that I know. Ooh, I mean, I'm sure it's already done, but do you think there's like a fan dub for Rain World? I wouldn't mind voicing Moon. I think that'd be pretty cool. I mean, there's not really a lot of voices to do. There's like the echoes and the iterators, so in retrospect, it's not really a lot of voices, and it's probably not gonna go to me. And so, never mind. But wouldn't it be so cool to be Moon? Or to be the voice of Moon. I know a couple of you guys really liked me doing the Seer's voice in Hollow Knight. You guys really enjoyed the You would have loved Hollow Knight vocalized. I figured Hollow Knight already had voices done. You guys are desperate for Silksong, and everything has been done. I beat Hollow Knight by only sliding on the floor and only pressing half an A press. I'm sure somebody has already done that. Oh gosh. Oh, you know what? I can finally watch Hollow Knight stuff because I'm finally up to speed. I just realized that. I am no longer barred by the don't get spoiled-itis. I am free to look at things. A Rain World mod that makes a Skug do one of Nettie's screams whenever it falls to death or gets hurt. Oh gosh. Like, which scream? just cycle through the various different screams that I do. Do not watch all the Hollow Knight stuff. Okay. Honestly, I'm not opposed to that. I think that would be really funny. I also feel like it would be very jarring to hear myself scream. Like, for a lot of people, you don't hear yourself talk a lot. And when I was getting started, like, doing the YouTube thing, I had to get used to the sound of my own voice very quickly as I started to edit a lot of my own videos. Hearing myself scream, though, I rarely scream. And when I have screamed, it has been on, how to explain it? The few times I have screamed, it has been on a stream, and I haven't really heard it a lot. I did have to pull that clip from, the Hunter stream where I died miraculously. Oh gosh, you know, I never explained that whole happenstance and circumstance. This was a while ago. Do you guys remember that one time I took that week off? I took that week off to audition for something, actually. I had auditioned for a VTuber talent agency called VSojo, and they were holding auditions, and to say that joining VSojo would be a dream come true is an understatement. VSojo would allow me to do a lot of the things that I have only dreamt of, all the while getting to still be me. A lot of VTuber companies and talent agencies, they very much want you to conform. They very much want you to play your part, play the role, play the VTuber part, and like that crowd of VTubers, if you know what I mean. Not the promiscuous side, but the more like anime intensive side, the side that I don't want to play. What VSojo does and what they allow, I genuinely feel like they could have like helped me to be more than what I am right now. So I took that week off to make an audition video, and I won't lie, I'm too sad to look at that audition video again. I feel like it's a a little embarrassing in hindsight, or maybe I'm just feeling insecure, but safe to say, I'm not in VSojo. By this point, people have already entered phase 2, they're under NDAs, and they're probably working on getting their first person debuted sometime in January. I wonder who it is, and I'm happy for whoever won. Truthfully, I am. But I am kind of sad. I think I hit a sore spot for myself when I had auditioned for VSojo and didn't get in. And it's nothing against VSojo, the team or the people behind it. I think like I said before earlier in the stream, I was so used to failure that I got very scared to fail. So when I put my all, I dedicated and funneled all my energy into making the best audition that I felt I could make, and I didn't make it. It hurt a lot in the moment, and I just felt like crying, honestly. When I found out I didn't get in, I cried my eyes out. I cried so hard I made my eyes swollen. And I was too bummed to do stuff for a little while. Eventually, obviously eventually I got back to work, but yeah, it hit a sore spot for me. I won't lie, it's still kind of sore for me. I don't know if I want to share that video or not, but I was compiling the clips of me doing silly shit in Rain World for those audition streams for some context. So I have heard myself scream on repeat a few times, and it's weird. It's weird hearing yourself scream. Oh gosh. There is still more Hollow Knight to be discovered. I imagine so. I'll probably hold off then. Have it scream random profanities while in the clutches of a lizard's maw. That would be funny. That would be really funny. Just like ooh. A scream for a different death. That's too complex, but it'll be funny. Oh man, I like that idea. I like where your brain is, mister. It's not even like an embarrassing video, it's an audition video, so it's an audition. I don't know how else to explain it other than just me being like, hi, my name is Nettie, this is what I do, this is what I have been up to, thank you for the opportunity, you know, here's what I do, here are some good moments, this is what I aim to do, hope to hear a call back. I don't know, I don't do a lot of auditions. I've done quite a few at this point, but not as much as you guys may be thinking. But I have tried to put myself out there whenever I gotten the chance and try out for things and do the stuff and do the song and dance, you know. I am running out of tea. This is an unfortunate circumstance that we are about to face. I know I don't have to show you guys the video. And like I said, I don't really know if I want to. I'm not sure if I really, I don't know if I'm comfortable even looking at that video again. I'll be totally honest with you guys. Like I said, it's a bit of a sore spot. Not the addition to VSojo itself, but more so like yet another failure. And looking at that audition video, this reminds me that I failed again. And old habits die hard, I guess. By the way, the lightheadedness faded away. I'm feeling much better. Oh gosh. You know, I actually really enjoy the streams like these. I was kind of mentioning it earlier, but I was really worried at first doing these kind of streams where I'm not really doing anything other than just chatting. I was worried about I was like, hey, I know people have pitched the idea of yapping streams, and I thought about doing yapping streams for a while too, but I wasn't sure how well it was actually going to go. So it's pretty nice knowing that, like, not only is the stream doing well, but also that it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. I was worried that the unofficial yapping streams were going to be very complicated to like keep conversations going and keep talks going and stuff like that. I mean, I will admit, as we get a little bit later into stream, I'm slowing down, I'm getting tired, and I might wrap up stream pretty soon, but I just kind of want to take a moment to be like, to all of you guys who are here, were here, lurking, or watching in the VODs, thank you. Thank you, truthfully. This is, it's comforting to be able to do this kind of thing and know that people are still here. It's awesome to be able to do this in the first place, and I guess just thank you. Just thank you. You couldn't shut up if you were paid for it. Alright, why is it every time I try to be nice to you guys, it's exactly when you guys go for the insults? I'll actually have you know, I do not talk a lot, if at all, outside of like YouTube. I feel like it's kind of funny because you guys think of me as the yapper, but in real life, I don't talk to anybody. I don't talk to my coworkers. I don't really have any like friends where I live, so I don't talk to anybody. I'm actually a very reserved and quiet person in real life, and I tend to keep to myself. I don't talk to anybody, and it's only really on YouTube that I get to like, or like, it's only really like with like YouTube and Discord that I get to kind of like take off the weights per se and be like, all right, let's crack jokes, let's talk for a little bit, let's share my thoughts on life in the universe for like 3 hours. You and every other introvert, pretty much. Yeah, I'm not, again, I know it's ironic being on YouTube doing the YouTube thing, but it's like I'm not actually like, I'm not really that sociable, I'm not really that approachable. I don't like talking to people. I really don't like socializing. I say as I actively stream and talk with a whole bunch of people. It's different though. It's a lot more comfortable and easier to do it over stream and over Discord than it is in real life. I'm not sure why, but life. Now, like I said, it is getting pretty late. I do have work in the AM. It is probably in my best interest to lie down and rest. Now, before I forget, I know not the entire art team is in here, nor do I have a name for you guys. You guys are just the art team. What I might do, I'm gonna work up on some sort of like paragraph statement being like, all right, in terms of people who are making the emojis themselves, these are the measurements and requirements and parameters that need to be met. I will show you guys what the newer model looks like. So if you want to make the emojis with the newer model's appearance, you can get a head start on that, designing that, preparing that, and uploading that so that we can start queuing that up and having it ready once a new model comes out, and all the other kind of things. I will hopefully, probably not anytime later today, but maybe tomorrow when I'm a bit more rested and hopefully feeling better, I will sit down hopefully and have a talk with you guys, or at the very least make my peace, and when you guys are available, take care of it at your own pace. There is no due date right now, I'll tell you that right now. I don't have any like, oh, you need it done by this time. Just whenever you guys have the time. You never once for the past years have spoken to someone unless it was a full-on required. Okay, I don't think I'm that intense, but I have been pretty recluse. I spend a lot of my time indoors. I go to work, I come back home, and then I stay in my, like, in front of my computer. Hi, Lemon! You manifested again! This time I didn't summon you. This time I didn't speak of your name. Except earlier when I did, but that's aside from the point. You have a knack for showing up right on time. Or right on time for me to wrap up stream. But hello! Hello! Falls to the ground dead and motionless. I don't know what it is about being online that makes socializing a lot easier, but I think it's like the same thing that I mentioned before, where it was like, the reason why streams like these are a little bit scary to me to some degree, whether it's like the art stream, the yapping streams, or the singing streams, is because there's no longer that barrier. And even now, as we talk, there is still some degree of barrier. There is still some degree of a wall put between me and you guys. I'm not talking to you directly. Like, IRL Nettie's not talking to you. Nettie is talking to the stream, to you. Does that make sense? And having even that wall kind of helps it, like, even having that wall helps significantly with being more comfortable talking about things and sharing stories and life and all that kind of stuff than I ever would be if you had just approached me somewhere and been like, how do you feel about this? I'd be like, indifferent, and just not talk. Being online also makes being mean easier, unfortunately. That is true, and that is specifically because it is easier to separate yourself. It is easy to hide behind your profile, your account, your all these like during like all these other kind of stuff. How to explain it? Like it's easier to be mean when you know that there's no penalty at the end. When you're mean to somebody online, even if you get caught, you can delete your account. What are the chances it's going to really, and I mean really backfeed on you? We love hearing the stories of the people who got like witch hunted and they did that horrible thing online and they paying for it in real life. We love hearing those stories. But when you really think about it, those are like the 2% circumstances. Maybe. I don't know the exact numbers. But there's far more hatred going out than there is justice for that exact same reason. Usually do join near the end. So good fun when you're here though. Same with your streams. I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like at least more recently, I've been coming to your streams relatively on time, and then my body's like, it is time for sleep, and then I'm like, I gotta sleep, and then I pass out, and then I wake up, and then it's like, Lemon stream has ended 2 hours ago, and I'm like, oh shit. I forgot I was watching a stream, and it's not because, like, let me like preface this by saying it's not because the stream was like sleep inducing. It's because it's like, as of right now, for those of you who do not know, right now it is 6 a.m. where I am right now. When I'm not streaming and doped up on caffeine, I usually pass out 2 hours before this point. It is exhausting. So, she hates Lemon streams. I hate that Lemon boy. I will go over there and take a bite out of his lemony head. I won't. But it is late where I am. Very late. And it does make watching streams that tend to run late as well a little tricky to do. So I tend to go back and just watch the VOD to fill in the blanks on the things that I didn't like see, and I might do that for your more recent stream if anything. So no hard feelings for not being there. There was a friend on TikTok named Pixel Pixie whatever. Something happened in Discord that she ran Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and everybody witch hunted her down. Wait, on my Discord? Wait, what happened? No one told me anything. Or is this like a recent event in general? Because I haven't heard about this. There's tons of people getting in trouble nowadays. If this is someone who wasn't in the server, is this somebody I know? Let me rephrase it like that. Is it somebody I know? I think that's a better way to like describe what I'm thinking. I don't think I know anyone named Pixie or Pixel. Now I'm nervous. Ooh. I just saw in the art Discord a new person named Permanent. They posted their art and it's very pretty. You guys should go look at the art. Last year in another Discord. Oh, okay. Oh gosh, she made me so nervous. I was like, how come nobody told me? Like, I was about to get like very like, not like scared, but just kind of like, why didn't a mod tell me? Why did no one come to me? All these, if something happened like this in my server, you guys need to tell me that. Like, I would like to know what is going on. What did the person do? Why are they being witch hunted? And stop. Stop. I can take care of it. If they did something bad, I can just ban them. They do not need to be harassed. They do not need to be witch hunted upon my behalf. I was about to get so upset. Oh gosh, I'm about to be like, you guys are doing stuff without my permission. I'm going to beat you with a stick. No, I won't. However, what I will do is, yeah, I think it's time to start wrapping up stream. The sun is high. It is 6 a.m. and I work in, some degree of time. I am sincerely hoping that my work clothes are dry in time for work. If I have to go to work with damp clothes again, I'm gonna cry. But I know this stream probably wasn't the most excitable stream, especially compared to the last time we did a stream like this. I know this probably wasn't the most bustling city out there, but again, I'll say it again. I'm grateful to every chatter that was here, is here. I'm grateful to all the lurkers, and I'm grateful to all the VOD watchers. So thank you again to everybody who took the time to be here on this little part of the internet. And I made a promise to start doing YouTube outros until the end of the year. At the very least, to give it a taste test, so it still doesn't come naturally to me. I'll be honest, but a promise is a promise. So if you guys enjoyed what you guys saw here today, consider joining the Discord, or liking, or subscribing, and or hitting the bell so you know when I'm streaming. The Sunday streams are pretty new, so both new members and like current members are experiencing something new. So I appreciate all the support. Feel free to give more support as you see fit, I suppose. And I will see you guys probably Tuesday, right? I'm thinking Tuesday. I think Tuesday's the right day. So have a good one and party hard. Take care of yourselves and drink water.